Longview game. Coach King in the middle, Katie Baker, and of course it happened to me.
Keaton Daniels.
Keaton Daniels, there we go. I'm nervous.
How you got to point out that it's Coach King in the middle?
Yeah.
Like, Coach King's in the middle. Like, all right.
Well, I know who Keaton is.
I almost nailed that.
I had one last week. I did forget.
Yeah, it's okay.
Frank, I won't hold you. I won't hold you.
Let's don't harp on that too much. My face is getting redder by the second.
Coach, how's everything been going?
It's been okay. It's been a pretty good week, I guess, considering, the outcome of last week. But I think our kids went back to work and did a good job preparing for a difficult opponent in Sherman. I think our kids have a ton of respect for what they do and how they play. So, I mean, you see the tape, it gets your attention. And, that was a good week of practice and prep out of our football team. Now we need to carry it over to game day.
Yeah.
Well, on a personal level, do you still get nervous, and when does that kick in, butterflies, on game night?
I get nervous every game, regardless of the opponent, because the ball bounces funny ways, and it's always going to be a challenge for us because we're going to get the best out of everybody. And you got to worry about, the element of surprise. You got to worry about, self-inflicted errors, and of course they've had a week off. Who knows what they've prepared for? And I'm sure they'll have some added stuff for us tonight we hadn't seen.
All right. Well, Coach, what do you expect from today's game?
For us, I mean, I hope we play great defense like we have all year. I mean, our kids have played extremely hard. We're starting to get a couple of guys back healthy. We're just going to have to be able to contain their quarterback. He's what makes them go. He's an exceptional athlete, good thrower, and they've got great weapons that they get the ball to. They kind of mirror us. They're not a very big team. They're kind of undersized, but they play with great effort and have great team speed. And then for us offensively, we got to eliminate turnovers. We got to eliminate pre-snap penalties. That's got us last week. I mean, we had two crucial turnovers. One that stopped the scoring drive, one that gave them a score. And then we had 7 either false start penalties or delay game penalties, and we were able to overcome a few of those. But it's hard to do, like I said, against good people.
Well, Coach, on that note, to try to limit those mistakes, does that come through reps at practice, or does that come through a film session?
I don't know if you learn it in film. I mean, it comes back to, holding them accountable. I mean, in practice, and whether it's in stretch, whether it's in the weight room, whether it's at practice, whether it's how we dress, what's expected of them. If you hold them accountable, get them to focus, and just not go through the motions. And it's not like it does not get addressed every day. I mean, it does. But you get in big ball games like we were in the other night, and the crowd's loud, the bands are loud, and there's a lot of emotions going on. And we knew they were going to jump to front. And for the most part, we did a pretty good job not jumping. But you still, I mean, you can't have those, and that kind of feeds in the opponent's hand. So it's something we address daily, every week, and it's going to continue to do so.
Right. Coach, I was at the airport. I was at DFW Airport Sunday, and I'm wearing a Longview Lobos T-shirt. And this guy comes up to me, and he said, "Were you at the game?" I said, "No, I couldn't be there. I had to be in Texarkana." And he was like, "Where do they get these kids from, and why are they so tough?" And I said, "Man, it's funny you say that because we talk about that all the time. Like, I know Keaton can attest to it. It's like you don't ever put on that rocking L until it's your turn and you've earned it kind of deal." Yeah. And you have to notice that difference when you go see some of these other teams play, and just like the toughness of your kids year in, year out compared to a lot of the area.
Well, we're kind of the unicorn of what we do and how we go about doing it. I mean, from our offensive scheme, which is going to be a physical brand of run game stuff, and I think it toughens our defense up. Our kids, that's the kind of style of football they grow up playing, and they play with great effort, and it's a community team, and it's a program. We just don't live and die by a good bunch of kids that come through here. We try to develop every bunch, and be tough on them, practice them hard, and get them to play hard, get them to play fast, and that's kind of the what you get out of our kids every year, and not every place is like this, I can tell you, and that's what makes it so unique and one of the best jobs in the state of Texas.
Yeah, I agree. Keaton, when we were growing up, it was like it was a big deal to go to a Longview football game on a Friday night, and it still is. 25 years later, we're not that old, but I mean, it still is, and it was like that before. I remember even in the 90s, it was a big deal to be at a Longview High School football game, and then as you got older, it just became like bigger and bigger and bigger.
Right.
And it's like the state championship runs and winning it. It's just it's different.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to explain to someone when you get stopped like that and ask. It's really hard to explain it's just different. I can't explain it to you. It's not like this everywhere.
Oh
Yeah, I get family friends and coaching friends or even high school, college friends that come watch games, and they're just amazed at how hard our kids play, how fast they play. And it's just a different speed of the game, and just the whole production Friday night at Lobo Stadium, from the football team to our band, our crowd, Lobo Nation, our Viewettes, cheerleaders, everybody. I mean, it's just a community event, and a lot of pride goes into it, and a lot of importance out of every group that when it comes time to perform.
Oh yeah.
And on the way to Dallas last week, I probably should give them any shout outs because they're not a sponsor, but we stopped in Buc-ee's at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. There were more green Lobo shirts there than I see here on Friday night. They'll travel well.
Buc-ee's has been scarred for life after the state championship. They see the Lobos coming and they just start.
Somebody lock that front door.
Hey, them and Dairy Palace are the same way.
I'd like to give them a second round of it. I can tell you.
For sure. But kind of to go back on to what you guys were saying, I just remember when I was a kid, just watching like the '97 team, watching them win, watching them how hard they play. I took that to me playing on Saturdays during the day, and I wanted to do the same thing when I came to high school, and hoping that I can have an impact on the same kids that was watching me. And as you see that, you see a winning tradition, so you want to keep that up when you come to high school too.
I tell you, it was like going back in time for me. I was at that '97 game. I stood outside the Astrodome an hour before the game.
Oh, yeah.
My dad wanted to get good seats, and then we came to Texas Stadium or Cowboys Stadium. I brought my son with me. It was like a flashback for me.
Oh yeah.
It was the exact same thing. Just so many people there, and then you come to show up to a Lobo game and the best fans in the state.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
And the more longer you play, the more it grows and the louder they get. But there's a lot of heroes out there for these kids in Longview.
Exactly.
And what they see here, I mean, these are as big of heroes as any college or pro athlete you'll see. This is their hometown guy. I mean, I can't tell you how many young kids we have right now running around in Longview that want to be Jalen Hill.
Exactly.
They want to be the next Jalen Hill.
I mean, I'm going to be honest.
Jordan
I want to
Allen.
be Jalen Hill.
Well, he's got a unique gift.
He's special.
He
Very
is special.
So, Coach, I don't want to bring the mood down a little bit, but after a game like last week, and you obviously said it was a little bit sloppy, what do you say to the guys in real time there on the field?
Well, I tell you what I told them. We didn't play well enough to win. Played hard enough. We didn't execute well enough, and we still control things we need to control. We still can win a playoff spot. We still could possibly get a home field game for first round playoffs. Being a 2 seed, and then the district championship, you got to have somebody else take care of business for you. We didn't, but we're not banking on that. What we've got left to control is 3 district ball games. If you're able to win out, you become the 2 seed. You get a home playoff game, and let's go play football. And that's what I told them. It's not a deal where the season's over. I mean, it's a bend in the road. It's not the end of the road, as long as we don't make the right turn. So it's that's all it is. We got to move on. It was disheartening. It's frustrating. But that's behind us. We got to move on.
Yeah. So the atmosphere there, it's almost like a college. That was one of the coolest high school atmospheres I've seen, and that in week 1 at the Star. How would this benefit you guys down the road if you got to another atmosphere like that? Does it help you?
Yeah, well, I mean, we still got kids that's never been in that type of environment. I'm not saying we're young or inexperienced anymore, but they hadn't been in that situation too often, and that's what happens your first time around. We need, that was a great experience for us. Learn from it. Let's move on and play better the next time we're in that environment.
Right.
Coach, you said earlier about what you told the kids after that rough start last week. So what leaders have taken that to heart and have shown themselves to lead this team this week?
I wouldn't say it's any one individual on either side of the ball. It's the kids understanding what it is we've got to get done. It's coaches leading the way. I mean, it wasn't a browbeat session. I mean, we tried to highlight the good things and point out the bad and try to correct the bad. I mean, there's a lot of good that was done in that ball game. The only thing that, that most people brought out of it's a negative, and those are a problem. Those are an issue that you got to get corrected. But it's sitting a one-man show, and we don't put it on one person. I mean, it's a team. These kids play great together. They always have, and I think all that comes from how you hold them accountable, how you push them throughout the year. Whether it's the off season or the summer, or how you practice. So they've been receptive to what the message is.
Gotcha. Coach, talking about this Sherman team and this quarterback, how do you guys go about trying to contain him?
It's going to be easier said than done,
right.
But you got to maintain leverage. You probably got to spy him with somebody because you're not going to be able to just all out blitz him because if he breaks it, he's going to take it to the house.
For sure.
And that's where he's the most dangerous is when he extends plays with his legs and finds people, on the scramble drill because he can do that quite well. But he's exceptional talent. Their offensive line is very good, and they're not overly big, but they can move their feet. They cover people up, and they give them a chance to make plays.
All right. I think it's about time to let Coach head back out.
Always
to
a pleasure,
Thank
man.
you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank y'all.
Good luck, Coach.
We'll be
Appreciate
right
it.
back with more Longview Game Day live from Lobo Stadium.
At Godarzi and Young, we take things more seriously.
Every case that's handled at our office is handled by a team. That work and dedication has caused our office to recover more record verdicts and settlements than any other law firm in Northeast Texas.
It is our obligation to make sure our client has the financial backings and the manpower to be successful.
We are exactly who we say we are. We're trial lawyers who've gotten results year in, year out.
And now at OR, we want to buy your used vehicle and we'll give you guaranteed top dollar for yours. And if you prefer to trade, even better, with massive savings on every new vehicle at OR Cadillac GMC in Longview.
Welcome back. We added Lizzie Baker here with us. And guys, let's talk about a little bit that happened last week. And I'm sitting here, just what caught my eye right there is I know you're a big Buckeye fan.
Yes.
For some reason. And they beat up on our old team.
They did. They took care of Spring Hill pretty well last week, 56-15. I thought it was interesting. Brandon Tennyson completed 24 passes to 10 different receivers.
Really?
Last Friday.
They
yes.
had over 600 yards of offense last week.
Yes. So they put it to Spring Hill pretty good.
Yeah, what was weird to me is to see that Carthage score and then turn right around and look at Pleasant Grove, a week or 2 weeks later with the 31-6 score. Like Carthage defense is elite. Like we all know that they returned 9 starters. I think last year they gave up like 5 touchdowns and 3 of them were to Gilmer or something like that. It was something crazy stat, but I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting Gilmer to put up 7 points.
Yeah,
I know. Like I thought they would score more.
Yeah.
And I was also expecting Carthage to score a lot more. So did you happen to catch any of that? Watch that game highlights or anything?
No, I have not. Whenever I saw the score, I didn't really want to look.
Well,
it made me sad.
You
feel
must,
like there should be a shootout at one of those games.
Yes.
And it just wasn't.
You must not have watched the state championship game at all.
Stop it right there. Hey, we told you last time we met was the last time you could talk about that. It's over.
I'm going to keep talking about it forever.
You're never
No.
going to
Put the battery in his back for that.
Well, who else you got? I mean, Gilmer, I can't imagine. Gilmer has to play LE. LE is so much better than you remember them being.
And remember, this is Longview Game Day. He means Liberty Islo by LE.
Oh,
Yes,
sorry. Yeah, Liberty Islo.
No slang around here.
Yes.
Yeah. But Liberty Islo is they are such a good football team. They really should have beat number 7 ranked Van. I was at that game. I mean,
was it
2 or 3 points?
2 or 3 points?
yeah, it was
right?
a 2-point game.
2-point game.
Liberty Islo missed a field goal and 2 or 3
that
extra
kills me.
points. And then they had a touchdown call back, and the very next play threw an interception. I mean, it got
Special
out
teams.
13-0 quick, and it could have very well turned into a blowout. Shout out to Van. I mean, they did fight their way back. They are a good football team, but Liberty Islo is good. Now I know Gilmer's elite as well, but that's going to be a good football game.
Is LA the team that has lost their games within just 3 to 7 points.
No,
on there.
Liberty Islo played Pine Tree first game.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
And they've
Okay.
won every other game other than Van. Like
Okay.
tonight, they're at Spring Hill. We'll talk about that a little later.
Their team in progression reminds me a lot of these Lobos. They're young, they're athletic. They took a beat down the first week out in Pine Tree, and they've just progressed and gotten progressively better. And you don't want to run into them in the
No,
playoffs.
I mean,
You do
and
not.
we talk about like the eye test all the time. Like when they walked on the field, like they look good. I mean, they have some big kids. I mean, some really muscular kids, and you're just kind of like looking at this and like, I mean, I remember saying pregame like, I'm taking LEs. They just look better, you know. But Van, I'm telling y'all, if they played them 10 times, I really think Liberty Islo would win 9 of them. I mean, they are just that much better. I mean, I can't explain to you the progression from the last 2 years to where they're at today. They're a top 10 team right now.
Well, I'll tell you that the Gilmer Buckeye coaching staff will not overlook them.
I know they won't, and I recognize how great Gilmer is.
We talked to Coach Metzel today. He stopped into our classroom, or my classroom, to just say hi. And was like, so what do you think about the game tonight? Pittsburgh is 0 for this year. I don't think they've won a game yet. And he's like, listen, we don't overlook anybody. These are the games that keep coaches up at night. And he's like, these are the things that worry you. These teams that they have more athletes on the field than their record shows and that their record indicates.
And I will say that.
And you don't want to play down to the level of your competitor.
I saw Pittsburgh play last week. They have a really big line. You know, Tristan Abron, the head coach there, has a state championship appearance in a season where he was not picked. Out of 16 games, he was not picked. I think 3 games he was picked to win. And he made it to a state championship game. Not one single playoff game he was picked to win. And, like, he's just changing a culture. You know, not to say it was a bad culture, but he runs a different kind of offense. Like, they're changing everything. And, like, you know, they hadn't figured it quite out yet, if that makes sense.
Yes.
But I don't think they have anything for Gilmer.
Well, can we talk about Pine Tree for a little bit?
Sure.
Yeah.
Pine Tree, they played Jacksonville last week and won 35-7. Jacksonville, I don't think is all that great, but Pine Tree, I mean, they're doing really well this year.
They're having a real good
They've
season.
only allowed 37 points in the last 3 football games. Now, of course, they've got Texas High tonight.
Let's say
so that's different.
sorry to break it to him.
It's not the same.
Yeah, that's not gonna be the
We
same.
still have to save that game for later, but I know.
all the love we just gave Liberty Islo. That
Yes.
team came to Pine Tree and it got blanked, goose-egged. That Pine Tree
Well, I'm
team
not going to
is
let you
really
hate
good.
on Liberty Islo too bad.
I'm not hating.
They're 2
No, no,
divisions. Pine Tree's 2 divisions
No,
above them. They were supposed
that
to
was
do
me
that.
giving Pine Tree some props,
Yes.
not taking anything from Liberty
Yes.
Islo.
All right.
Yes.
But hey, for real though, Kerry Lane has done an unbelievable job. I literally, and I don't. I've told him this. I remember seeing where he took that job, and I remember telling somebody, "Man, I can't believe he took that job. That's a mistake." And what he's been able to do at Pine Tree is nothing short of just unbelievable.
Commendable.
That's
Very
a hard place to win. And so is Sabine, which I've been impressed by Sabine this year. I think they've got White Oak tonight, but
I almost forgot Sabine had a football team.
Exactly.
It's been that long since I've heard of anybody playing them or them beating anybody.
yes, and
They've got a great. Well, they've been building up their program quite a bit over the last 4 or 5 years, and this year I expect them maybe go 4 rounds deep. I mean, they are a solid.
that good.
They are a
they've
solid
got a
football
really
team.
good quarterback.
Yeah, I was about to say I saw some stats. They are chunking the ball around.
Yes,
Yes,
they are.
Quarterback's a stud.
Yes,
He is a
yes.
stud.
And I've learned these, like in some of the lower divisions, if you can throw the ball, you have a major advantage
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
over most teams.
For sure.
And I can testify that he's also smart because I taught him in 3rd grade. Jace Burns. I taught him in 3rd grade.
No wonder y'all talking about Sabine over there. No wonder why you talk about her so much.
But we
I'm
can talk.
just shocked by the season that they're having this year.
Yeah.
And talk Pine Tree, Sabine. Those are not teams that you normally would sit here and talk about
Yeah.
on a show like this, and they're getting it done this year.
Yes.
Let's talk about a team we would talk about. Texas
Okay.
High beating Marshall.
Marshall.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. I don't think Marshall's a bad football team.
No,
No.
not at all.
I think Texas High is good. They're still trying to get better every week. Something in this offense, it's just not clicking yet.
Yeah.
I mean, because last year they averaged almost 50 points a game, and they returned all but like 4 starters, and it's just something hasn't clicked yet.
Yeah, we were here week 1. They gave
Yes.
the Lobos all they could have.
Yeah,
all they wanted.
I remember being
good
like,
football team.
it was what, I can't remember what the
14-0, I
Yeah,
believe, maybe.
14-0.
This is the stat that kills me. Marshall last week had more first downs and had more total yardage.
Texas
than
High's
Texas
defense had 6 interceptions.
Yeah, and that will make all the
That's
difference.
what I was going to say. It was the turnovers. last week.
Random stat. Out of the top 3 interception leaders in the state of Texas, 2 of them are from Texarkana.
That's funny. When you say random stat, I usually just assume he's going to make one up. Think of that, 27 interceptions 2 weeks ago.
No, but Derek Brown, the University of Texas commit, I mean, when you go back and watch, it's almost unbelievable how he shuts down an entire side of the field. Nobody even tries to go over there.
Yeah, he's very impressive.
I mean, he's not like a Clayton Smith.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they're comparable, but Clayton was big and Derek's tall, a lot leaner, and it's just amazing to me to watch. Like, they never run to this guy's side, still getting sacks. I think he has like 8 on the year, and he's second on the team in tackles, and they run away from him every play.
Doesn't that make you wonder how they even got a pass off last year against Texas with both those guys on the field at the same time?
Yeah, you know, and Texas High had one of their two linebackers in the last 2 weeks have Division I offers now. So it's like their entire linebacking core has Division I offers.
That's legit.
They have a defensive ends committee, University of Texas, and they moved one of the linebackers to DN this week.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and then the Brandon Childs guy in the middle, number 95, if you ever watch one of their games, I mean, he's out here just hurting people, literally.
Lighten them up.
The good news is you can watch one of their games. As soon as ours ends, pop on YouTube, go to our page, and watch that game after this one.
This is true.
We're live streaming from Pine Tree Stadium today.
That's right. We'll have Pleasant Grove at North Lamar. It's going to be a big win for Pleasant Grove.
A big win.
And I think you can even watch the LE game. I think Springhill's going to have the broadcast tonight.
Awesome.
Okay, cool.
Let's do this. Are we in our segment? We're 10 in. Let's do this.
That's right.
Let's take a quick break, and we will be right back with Chuck and Tony, the guys that call the Lobo games.
Over the last 10 years, our office has achieved many record verdicts and settlements. Our commitment has always been to outwork and outfight any opponent we have in whatever courtroom we find ourselves in.
At Godarzi & Young, we have settlements and verdicts that are unmatched. Whether you come face to face with the corporation or the insurance company, they know that if they don't justly compensate our clients, they're going to have to face the Godarzi & Young trial team in the courtroom.
It's a new season. And at Sport Clips, all of our stylists are clean certified and guy smart. So come in and get yourself back in the game with our legendary MVP experience. It's a mancation with our hot steam towel, relaxing shampoo, and a winning cut. Check in online and walk out with confidence. Sport Clips, it's good to be a guy.
Printing your photos just got easier. Just pick your size, color, and favorite photo, and we'll do the rest. Because your unforgettable moments are meant to be framed.
All right, we are back. We have our man Tony Langford, the second best roofer in East Texas.
Wow.
And,
shots fired early tonight.
Yeah,
starting early on.
If Tony's on, I can't not make fun of him.
Well, I understand.
And we have Chuck Zach, Tony Kirk, the voice of the Lobos for Longview Game Day. And I wanted to have you guys on so people could put a face with a name here.
So you're going to ruin it.
No, y'all are getting a lot of love right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people are on there. I mean, well, some people. Like, Tony has these fake accounts. He gets on there and talks bad about y'all.
That's all right.
Somebody taught him how to use the internet.
Any publicity is good publicity.
I still don't know how to use it.
But the vast majority of people are loving you guys.
Well, we appreciate that. We're enjoying the heck out of it.
And I knew they were going to love you guys.
You did, huh?
Oh, I knew.
You were confident.
I know. Y'all best in the business, Sometimes you don't want to hurt people's feelings, but it's the truth.
But you don't mind.
No, I don't care. Everybody hates me anyway.
Nothing but love for Morgan.
And you wonder why.
Yeah.
But, guys, tell us about this football season. Y'all been covering football for, 20-plus years?
Yes.
Y'all having fun?
A lot of fun. This is really a lot of fun. And we've covered other schools as well in the past, but this is just it's a different experience. Folks that I talked to before we came on and did this gig said you're never going to have seen an environment like what you're going to see when you go to Longview. And I didn't really believe them because you didn't really know until you're actually here, and then you go, okay, I get it. I didn't get it. I get it. It's very serious, but it's very passionate.
Yeah, it is just different.
Well, having lived throughout East Texas and in the Metroplex, I knew Longview for years and what a quality program they were. I was actually at the last meeting when these two teams met in 76.
Yeah.
Wow, that's like 2 years before I was born.
Yeah, I was.
It's like a random stat you don't give.
I was actually at the bi-district championship that year at the old Texas Stadium when they lost 10-3 to Sherman.
That was negative too.
Yeah, but either way, they've been waiting a while to get revenge, and tonight's the night.
How do you see this playing out?
I see this Longview taking charge of this relatively early in the ball game, and Sherman will make some big plays. What I've seen, they've got a nice running back and quarterback combination, and they'll look good at times, but I think Longview's got too much for them tonight.
I want to ask you, I've been seeing you've been all over the place on Facebook here lately.
Oh, yeah, that's me.
Been hanging out with the Rangerettes.
If I get a chance.
Going to the UT. What all you been doing?
It's the fall. You go to ball games, and sometimes they're at the State Fair, and sometimes they're in Austin, sometimes they're in Fayetteville. Wherever there's ball games, you go to them.
Were you at the game in Fayetteville?
Yes.
Golly.
Ask him where it's going to be tomorrow.
I'll be in Austin tomorrow.
I thought y'all were sidekicks. He didn't take you with you.
No.
I have another partner for ball games.
Which game did you go to in Fayetteville?
Well, that's one I've tried to forget. So
Was it the Longhorn game? That's where I was at too.
Yes, and I try to put that one out of my memory.
Oh yeah, that was bad.
So
I'm going to start having Morgan show me your pay stubs. This isn't making sense at all. Football games every week.
I have a patron.
Keep in mind, this guy's working because he likes to work.
Yeah.
All right.
It's kind of weird.
Let's all keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if he's even employed at the school anymore because I never hear or see him.
It's funny. My employers feel the same way.
Hey, I asked him the same question.
I think the same thing about Frank every Monday through Thursday.
Wow.
I'm wondering what Frank
He's
does.
just going from end to end tonight.
Yeah, man. Netflix isn't going to watch itself.
That's It does.
No, it does, yeah.
Joe, what do you see playing out tonight?
Wind. I'm going to be honest with you. I was down on the field, and of course, we're behind us, but the wind was a concern. Coach King was talking about it. I don't know what he said to you guys, but picking your spots is going to be a big thing tonight, especially if you're heading in the direction toward my right. The wind is blowing from that direction, and kicking that way is tough. Throwing that way is tough. Watching the kids warm up, I can see where conservative coaches with good running games are going to say, you know what? We'll throw tonight, but only if we have to, and only if we're picking a spot, and maybe only if we're going in the direction where the wind's behind us. One of the instructions to the special teams coach was make sure they're punting in both directions. So warming up that you're not just kicking one way, you're kicking the other, because there's a radical difference the way the wind is out here tonight.
This is true. Very true. I want to tell a little bit about you guys. They have you're on 107.9 The Fan in Texarkana. Have had to leave in the yard for how long?
A long time.
It's a sports show from 5 to 6. You can catch it on Facebook. Sometimes it's fun to watch.
Sometimes.
It's when
sometimes it's ugly to watch.
Sometimes Tony's turned up in there.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and make a compilation video of all of his hot takes in the past and see how accurate they are.
In fact, we pride ourselves on not making picks on who's going to win. We do what we call picks of righteousness.
I was about to ask for yours this week.
Yes, we only pick who we want to win and who we really want to lose.
Well, give us one.
Well, tonight we want the Lobos to win.
Give us your college one like you always do.
Well, I always hope the Longhorns win, but that's...
Are they going to?
I always hope the Longhorns are going to win.
But see, the beauty is it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's who you just root for, so that's who you pick.
Yeah, we can pick against Gundy just because he cut the mullet off. Last year I picked against him because he had the mullet.
You think you'll be able to see Nick Martin at all?
I hope so. I hope we got to cover Nick some in the past, and we hope we'll get to see him play tomorrow.
Well, if you see him, it was his birthday this week. Get him
okay.
Is Nick starting?
No,
but he's getting some playing time.
He is getting some playing time.
Yeah.
And he just turned a year older, so maybe it's his week.
Yeah,
this could be his week.
I bet he's out there laying people out when he gets a chance, though.
True that.
Yeah, we called Nick Hit Stick Martin, played at Pleasant Grove, now at Oklahoma State. Maybe he can be the one that runs your good time tomorrow.
Well, I hope not, because I'm going to Matt's afterwards, and I'm going to have a good time either way.
Chuck, what does your Saturdays look like?
I'll be watching lots of games tomorrow. Last week was horrible. It was non-stop football. It was great football, but I never moved from the recliner last Saturday.
I was on a plane during most of the Texas game, and they had no internet, so when I got off, I'm sitting there like, God, they're going to blow them out, you know? And little did I know, Worst thing I could have thought.
Yeah. The end of the game was one of the worst games I ever watched. That was horrible, man.
Yeah.
You can't let them come back like that.
Well, let's do this, man. We appreciate you guys being on. We'll let you get up to the press box. Let's take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back. Talk about area games.
At Godarzi and Young, we take things more seriously.
Every case that's handled at our office is handled by a team. That work and dedication has caused our office to recover more record verdicts and settlements than any other law firm in Northeast Texas.
It is our obligation to make sure our client has the financial backings and the manpower to be successful.
We are exactly who we say we are. We're trial lawyers who've gotten results year in, year out.
And now at OR, we want to buy your used vehicle and we'll give you guaranteed top dollar for yours. And if you prefer to trade, even better, with massive savings on every new vehicle at OR Cadillac GMC in Longview.
And we are back for our area game segment. And this segment is all the hard work is done by you two.
Wow, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But y'all get all of it together. Tony's like, hey, are they going to do the homework this week? Every time.
I thought we were trying to cheat off.
Fingers always crossed.
But I'm going to let y'all, let's get into it.
All right, so start off, Texas High versus Pine Tree this evening. Texas High 5-0, 3-0 in district. Pine Tree 4-2, 2-1 in district. Last week they beat up on Jacksonville, and Texas High took care of business against Marshall. Texas High has scored at least in all 5 games this year, and last week Braylon Stewart had 23 carries with a little over 100 yards.
Braylon Stewart's a real deal.
I was going to say that's Braylon Stewart every week.
In my opinion, he is the best uncommitted running back in the state of Texas right now, and it's all because of this transfer portal. The transfer portal is killing the quarterback and running back position. I really feel bad for this kid. I mean, he has some offers right now that I don't know that he can even commit to until after December, when they decide who all's transferring this or that. It's bad. I mean, if you're in one of those two positions, it is really, really bad coming out of high school.
You know, that's funny you bring that up right now, because I read the first article about it today. You know, first time I've read anything about it, and they were talking about that it's going to be hard to even get recruited out of high school because so many kids are transferring.
I want to make fun of you so bad right now. I want to laugh. The first time you've ever read?
No.
I thought that's what he was going to say. Like, me and Tony are good buddies. Me and Tony are good buddies. I give him hell all the time. So Tony's my buddy.
Well, I will say last year, Texas High took care of Pine Tree 44-0. I don't see it as that lopsided this year. I think Pine Tree will put a few more points on the board than just a goose egg.
So let's do this. Texas High's offense is just not as explosive as it was last year. They're relying more on the running game. The big plays have been few and far between. It's just the truth. Pine Tree, every year they get better. Every year. I don't think this is going to be a blowout tonight, but I do think Texas High is going to win. I just don't think they're going to win big. Depending on what you define, I think this is somewhere between a 14 and 21 point ball game.
I got Texas by 10.
Because Pine Tree's just playing. They're coached so well that it's hard to beat them back. You know what I mean? Last year, Pine Tree was throwing the ball. It seemed like almost every down. You can get beat big against Texas High doing that. But the way that I'm seeing kind of the stats coming out, they're not throwing the ball downfield a ton. They have a smart quarterback. They're moving the ball around good. I just don't see a 40-0 game here.
Well, they limit the possessions on both sides of the ball, so I agree with you 100%.
And Pine Tree's defense is doing well this year. In their 2 losses,
Pine Tree's
the total number of points difference is 12. So that's all that they're getting beat by. Dallas Dixon's got 54 tackles with 3 forced fumbles this year. So I think he'll be a leader.
And be on the lookout, too, for Pine Tree has a really good running back. Ethan Morgan, I believe is his name.
Yes, Ethan Morgan.
Real tough kid. I know his mom.
I say you either know him or you're cheating off our notes.
No, I know his mom.
I got him down.
She had him down right there. I thought that's what you were doing.
I had to give him a shout out.
But shout out to Coach Lane, Coach Stanford tonight. They're going to put on a show tonight. I actually went and dropped somebody off. Never been to that stadium before. That stadium's really nice.
It's beautiful.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Yeah.
I'll be honest, I didn't know till this year that they had a new stadium.
Oh gosh,
Where have you been?
I don't know.
Several years now.
If I'm coming to Longview, I typically I'm going to a Longview game. That's about it. I didn't know they had the stadium.
They have a lot of playoff games up there. It's real big.
Yeah, it is.
It's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
But it is nice. I'll give it to them.
All right, next up is White House versus Marshall. White House is 0-6. Marshall is 3-3. They came off a tough loss to Texas High last week, 27-12. But I see Marshall taking care of business against White House.
I don't think this will be a contest. Marshall.
I don't either. And I'll tell you this, Marshall is actually a lot better than I thought they were going to be. Their defense is tough. They stop the run. I think they're going to win big.
Yeah. Even when we saw them play here, the 14-0 game, I remember thinking, they're a lot better than what I thought they were going to be.
Yeah, I thought that the whole game.
Yeah, it's one of the best Marshall teams I've seen in years.
Well, they're both the offensive line and the defensive line. They are big kids. They're strong. They're physical, and I think that's what really keeps them in the ball game.
Oh, yeah.
I think interceptions have plagued them a little bit this year. Some turnovers, things like that happening. So.
I'll be honest. I thought Longview was going to blow them out, and they come out here and competed, and it was a game all the way through.
Longview has the kind of offense where if your defense is playing well, you're going to be in a game.
Yeah.
Their run first style offense, and they're always going to double team on Jalen Hill, which is what they did. Marshall played a good game.
Yeah, they
really did.
Had a good game.
But yeah, like this one tonight, it's going to be a confidence builder for Marshall. I kind of feel bad for White House.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Athens playing Lindale tonight. Athens is 4-2, but they're 0-2 in district. Lindale is 3-0 in district, but they're 4-3 overall. So, not so sure how this is going to play out. I think Athens has got a pretty strong offense, but their defense has allowed 60 points in the last 2 games. So, I think it'll be an interesting.
It's just kind of amazing to me with Lindale. Their senior class last year must have been absolutely loaded.
Well,
incredible.
Well, they lost a lot of the defensive side. I mean, their quarterback, Sam Peterson, he's been putting up big numbers already with over 1,200 yards in the air this year. But their defense, I think it's one of those just growing pains that they're going through. But, I mean, they have Colton Weidman, who has made 37 tackles this year on the defensive side of the ball. But I think they take care of Athens tonight.
It looks like they're turning around, going 3-0 in district already.
Mm-hmm.
4-3. They look pretty good right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that happens after a state championship year. They probably, I have no idea who they played, but I'm going to assume they're not playing teams in their division. They're having to go a division up to play.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure.
And that just happened. Like Carthage is playing teams 3 divisions above them.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the season, they had 2 bye weeks back to back because they can't get anybody to play them.
Yeah.
And that's just part of it. I mean, I get it, but maybe I'm wrong about Linda. Maybe they have a lot of those players back. The record doesn't tell me that.
Reflected.
Next up, Van versus Mahia. So Van is like the great story in East Texas right now. They're 6-0, the Vandals. They were idle last week, but their quarterback, I love he's thrown over 1,000 yards so far this year, but his turnovers versus interceptions is incredible. He's had 19 touchdowns with only 1 interception
I was there for that one.
This year, but he takes care of the ball. He's making smart choices, and that's leading to victories for the Vandals.
Yeah, no, he's really good. They have a wide receiver. It's like 6'5", who's really impressive. I'm telling you guys, you cannot throw on Liberty Ilo. I don't know what he had in his stats against Liberty Ilo. He couldn't have been good.
I was watching. I wasn't there, but I was watching the highlights of it. That looked like a good game right there.
It was a good game. It was one of the better games we've been to. A lot of games we go to somehow turn into blowouts every time. But that game came down to the last possession. That rarely happens.
Mm-hmm.
But shout out to Van. I can't imagine. There's no way they lose this game.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
I don't think
Next up, Lizzie, you want to take this one?
White Oak versus Sabine. I know you're like, we're tired of talking about Sabine. But this is kind of like the
I'm surprised y'all
the
didn't
big
have them
game
first
in
on the
East
list.
Texas.
What are they, big Sabine fans?
It's the real good story. Well, my father was the head coach AD there for a couple of years.
And they were not good during that time period.
Dad,
but that's
Liz,
okay.
don't throw Dad! Dad,
You guys
do not throw Dad under the...
I love
talking about getting cut out of the wheel.
Somebody's getting in trouble.
He would be the first one to admit it.
Don't throw him underneath the bus.
That was actually pretty awesome right
Oh my
there.
God!
Sorry, I love you, Dad.
But anyway, yes, we are happy to see that Sabine has turned around and has had some very successful years the last couple of years. This is a very good one for them. They're 5-2, 3-0 in district. They're going up against White Oak, the Roughnecks. They have a history over the last several years. This is a big matchup for a small school in East Texas. Kason Sigley for White Oak. He's close to 1,000 yards. They have 2 running backs that are pretty solid, but Sabine has an X factor.
Yeah, and it's Jace Burns. He's got over 1,000 yards passing and 1,000 yards rushing. So he's dual threat. I mean, how do you stop him? So that's going forward.
All right, next up, another small school, Harmony versus Troop. Harmony's another 6-0 team here in East Texas, going against Troop, which is 5-2. Harmony has a backfield of Boston Seahorn, Evan Weber, Kyle Henry, and with those 3 playmakers, I think they're going to get it done. They're pretty balanced on offense.
I want to say I'm a little bit of a Harmony fan. As my dad played football there, and my nephew is one of their running backs right now.
Oh, okay.
So one of the ones you didn't mention.
Sorry. Well, you get to now.
Seth Morgan. He's I don't know. I'm just proud of him. He's a good ball player, and I don't even think that game's going to be close.
No, I don't think it will be either. I think that'll be a pretty big blowout.
My dad played a defensive back there, so
Oh.
yeah. He don't even watch football. So.
All right, next up we got Paul Pewitt versus DeKalb. Okay, how do you pronounce their mascot, Paul Pewitt?
Is it
Brahmas?
Brahmas?
Yep.
Okay.
Or I thought it was a Brahmas.
Brahmas. They pronounce it Brahmas. That's the weird thing. I've never gotten over that one. But sorry, Paul Pewitt. 3-3 on the year, 2-0 in district. DeKalb's 5-2 on the year, 2-1 in district.
This is going to be the 14th meeting between the two teams since 2008, and Paul Pewitt has brought home 11 of those wins. I see it happening again tonight.
Yeah.
I do not.
You're going to take DeKalb?
All right, so this is going to be this game is going to be over at like 9:15.
No.
All right, let's start. They may not throw past the entire game.
Okay.
Winky Williams out of DeKalb is going to go off. I bet you at halftime we sit back down here.
I got DeKalb.
You got DeKalb too?
I know y'all don't live up there, so when it's live, DeKalb wins this game.
All right.
Winky Williams is just.
They got a
the thing is, like,
too. I can't remember his name, but
Pewitt has a 1,000-yard rusher already. Winky Williams is just on another level, and I love his name.
Yes, you said it like 3 times, and I want you to keep saying it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I've never even met the kid in person, but I just like him. He's got a cool
been
name.
good for a while, and I think this is one of their better teams.
I saw this kid. This is a true story. I saw this kid play in 8th grade. He was playing. I don't even remember where it was, but I saw him play. Long story short, I witnessed this kid in an entire football game not actually hit the ground one time.
I was
Remember me
there.
telling you that?
Is that
You
the
were
kid?
there.
I was there. Yeah.
Dude, he's like.
They said that he didn't get tackled all year.
He was
That's
a
what
foot and a
they
half
said.
tall. If you were ever like picture yourself, if you're at home and your kid's about to play against some other kids, but there's a kid that's like 2 foot taller than everybody else.
Yeah.
That's Winky Williams.
He legitimately did not get tackled.
I think he's a freshman or a
I was
sophomore.
going to ask, what grade is he in now?
He's like a.
So we're going to be talking about him for a while to come.
Yeah, at oldest he's a sophomore, but he may be a freshman.
Wow.
But he's legit, and at that level, it's just hard. You can win it. You can be dominant with one great player.
Oh yeah,
and he is.
I don't know if y'all remember Q Craver at Harleton.
I do.
Oh man, Q was a monster back then, man. I went to a game. He had 377 and 7 TDs at halftime.
Wow. Wow.
I watched him play at Mod Texas one time, and it was similar to that.
It was bad.
We're running out of time. Let's go.
All right, we got Legacy and Mesquite Horn this week. Legacy's 1-1 in district. Mesquite Horn's 1-2. Horn's having a hard time actually putting points on the board. They've only scored 3 points in the last 2 games. So I'm going to take Legacy in this one.
That's
I do
a tough one.
believe.
I got Legacy on that one, too.
You got
I
that
do
too?
too. I do too. Next up is your team, Liberty Ilo.
Well,
Texas Spring Hill.
I support all Texarkana teams, but not when they're playing against my alma mater. But I'm still going to take Liberty Ilo. And
I was just gonna have to correct you on it. I thought you was just gonna go with Spring Hill.
I mean, like, hey, I want Spring Hill to. I want them to have a good game. I'm okay with them winning, but I'm telling you, I really think Liberty Allo. And not just them. Liberty Allo's good.
I agree. I agree.
And nothing against Spring Hill, but Liberty Allo is athletic everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens.
Considering where Liberty Allo was 2 years ago,
that's what Morgan was talking about.
They had the first 0 for 10 season.
Yeah.
Then they had whatever they had last year.
Won about half their games last year.
Yeah, or maybe 4. I don't remember what it was, but they're so much better than what they were.
Defense is a lot better.
Well, the last game we were going to talk about is Pittsburgh and Gilmer, but I think we can all agree that Gilmer's going to win it, and we can just leave it there with that.
We got 3 Gilmer people on the set. Of course, Gilmer's going to win.
Well, I don't get to make fun of y'all this week because y'all will win this game. But just wait till you play Carthage again. Anyway, I don't see Pleasant Grove's going to North Lamar. I don't see them on here.
No, sorry.
All right, Pleasant Grove's playing North Lamar. Be a big win. It'll be a blowout. North Lamar, they're fielding 19 players on varsity.
Wow, that makes me sad. That makes me sad.
At the 482 level, they should at least have 35. So.
I think Pleasant Grove's starting to put it together a little bit offensively also. They have a young quarterback, young team. I think they're starting to put it together.
I'll say this. I've never in my life seen a team or head coach as unlucky as Pleasant Grove. And I know they've won 2 state championships in 3 years and all that. I get it. Or 2 in 4 years now. But when Landon Jackson, 5-star player, injured. Marcus Burris, 4-star player at A&M now last year, ruptured his Achilles.
2 top 5 linemen in the United States on the same team hurt.
Both hurt. And not like little bitty injuries. They're done.
Yeah.
Then you got Nick Martin, who's played at Oklahoma State now as a 4-star linebacker. He gets injured. Very first play of this season, not very first play, I'm sorry.
6 plays, wasn't it?
6th play of the season. The quarterback already has 130 total yards. And when I mean he breaks his arm, I don't mean he breaks his arm. He snaps his arm in half.
And guys, if y'all don't know, he's a stud. He is
I've heard.
Yeah, he is one of the better quarterbacks in the state.
Remember Akari Johnson's name? The guy, I don't know what position he's going to play at the next level, but he's going there.
Oh, yeah.
And he'll be one of the most highly recruited players that we it's weird for us because we got this Jalen Hale. You're sitting here looking at Landon Marcus.
Offensively, I think he's not going to be the highest ranked that we've
I think at safety, he's a true D1 safety. Yeah. But we didn't even get to see him play defense and broke his arm in the 6th play. So
it's just heartbreaking.
And they have a freshman at quarterback, sophomore at running back,
and guys, Akari's just a sophomore, so
yeah. They're gonna have some big runs coming. But anyway, let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and we will be right back.
Over the last 10 years, our office has achieved many record verdicts and settlements. Our commitment has always been to outwork and outfight any opponent we have in whatever courtroom we find ourselves in.
At Godarzi and Young, we have settlements and verdicts that are unmatched. Whether you come face to face with the corporation or the insurance company, they know that if they don't justly compensate our clients, they're going to have to face the Godarzi and Young trial team in the courtroom.
Don't fumble when you're looking for your next trailer. At RJ Trailers, we got the hookup. Cargo Mate, Hallmark, Text Line, Diamond C. We've got the inventory selection to get you into the end zone. Snap into savings with R&J Trailers. Don't pass up on the best deals around. R&J Trailers in Longview and online at rnjtrailers.com. We've got the hookup.
Employment after high school. For Longview Independent School District in East Texas, it's all about providing students with opportunities. The district's CTE program includes an array of options within the framework created by the state. As part of their graduation plans, Longview students choose courses from 5 endorsement areas: business and industry, STEM, public service, arts and humanities, and multidisciplinary. Within these broad categories, students can study occupations, prepare for certifications, and earn college credits and associate degrees through dual enrollment courses. Both students and employers gain from these targeted CTE efforts. Longview Independent Schools has partnerships with colleges that allow its high school students to earn college credits at a reduced rate. Through dual credit.
And we are back. We had our good friends Jake and John with us from Orr. And man, how's things been going?
Going good. Going good. Yeah, man, we're having a good time, and we got some cars coming in. So
I saw that. Y'all been getting a bunch of Escalades.
Yeah, we had a truckload of 4 come in just like 2 days ago. So.
That's awesome. How you been? I hadn't seen you all season.
Man, I've been great. Just I'm just working a lot of business, and so I get out of there a little bit late in the evening. But it's okay. I've been keeping up with you.
It's finally not wedding season anymore, huh?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Man, been missing us because we've been going to weddings.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, I can't imagine anybody in my family would schedule a wedding during football season. And then they heard from me about it. I promise you.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's no coincidence. This is the first 70-degree night of the year. He's out here with us.
No.
Hey, and it's tied too.
Yeah,
you might be right. Hey, I've been to a wedding on Texas OU Day.
Oh no,
and I don't mean a night wedding. I mean a day wedding.
No, that's not happening.
I was upset about it. They're not even married anymore.
No, and that's the reason.
So that's like the one day he takes off all year.
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I was there last Saturday. I mean, it was awful.
Well, outside of Escalades, what all y'all got coming in? I know it was hard to get inventory for a long time. I follow y'all on Facebook. I see y'all kind of have a bunch of stuff in.
Yeah, so we've been reaching out trying to get trucks when we can, and what do we got coming GMC-wise, John?
We have probably the more coming right now than we've had all year long, something like 70 or something.
Really?
Some of those are on MP hold, microprocessor hold, but they'll get released and we'll get them. And so things are looking a lot better. A lot better.
We've got 115 sold orders waiting, and so we just try to keep up with managing that and keeping people updated, let them know they're coming, and ask for a little bit of patience and go from there. So
I blocked my wife from y'all's Facebook page. She liked that black Escalade y'all posted a couple weeks back.
Yeah, that dude's good looking. That dude is good looking. Showroom floor right now. Of course, he could be in your driveway.
No, I don't need it in my driveway right now. If I'm gonna buy something nice, it's gonna be for me.
There you go.
Yeah, I've got an empty driveway. You can put anything you want there. You come and get it in 2 months, but you can put it there.
You'll have fun for a couple of months, won't you? Absolutely.
Well, I saw a picture of this Hummer y'all got, and I was about to ask him about it. He said he sold it in a day.
Absolutely. That thing was bad to the bone.
I tried to buy it from the guy, and he lived in Texarkana. I tried to buy it from him one time. He told me, I'll never sell this.
Yeah.
And then I see it pop up on your Facebook page.
Well, we made him a deal he couldn't refuse.
I had more people text me about that night. I posted it, and I just text after text. And,
yeah, it was great.
It was a blast. I took it home that night. I took my kids to school in it. And my 4-year-old, he told me we were going to run through a volcano.
Yeah. We're talking about the big military H1 Hummer, but this wasn't like a normal one.
No.
I mean, it was nice.
No, it's a good hog hunting vehicle. Absolutely.
So this guy drove it around as his normal vehicle.
Absolutely.
run over everything.
That's it.
He'd pick up his kids from daycare in it.
Yeah, that's it.
We told the guy that bought it we're going to get it back up, so when the new Hummer comes out, we're going to get them beside each other, and so we can kind of compare the old school and the new school.
That'd be
awesome. They got the new electric Hummer coming
That's
out.
right.
You're setting the bar real high right now. You keep this up, by the time your son's going to prom, you'll be flying him in an F-16.
That's it.
Hey, that new Hummer's supposed to be sweet.
1,000 horsepower. 1,000
See, how does that, I mean, we're electric, though. How does that equate? I don't know. It's hard for me to understand when they say horsepower.
Understand this, 1,000 horsepower.
So you're telling me this fighter jet Hummer is going to outrun like a supercar?
That's what I'm telling you.
Golly.
On a battery.
That's what I'm telling you.
I love it.
Do you have any idea what the range is going to be on something like that?
From one electric thing to the other?
This dude is born salesman.
Yes, he is.
From one electric thing to the other. I love it.
Ready.
So, man, we know you're a huge Lobo fan. How have you been enjoying this season, being able to watch it?
You know, this has been great. This has helped a lot. I started watching when I moved here in 1974 was my first season. And I'm going to tell you, I was from El Paso, and we'd have 200 people show up to the game. You know, it just wasn't a big deal. When I moved here, I thought, this is the greatest deal ever. But I have really, really enjoyed it this year. You guys do a great job, and it's fantastic. In fact, this guy here is who I'm kind of hooked on.
Keith?
Yeah.
All right. My mind's made up. I'm coming to visit you every morning. You're selling me on my self-esteem. I'm having a good night.
Well, let me just tell you. This is not done anywhere else. This is a big deal. It's a big deal.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
We do. We really appreciate it.
He needs to be our official hype man.
He is our hype man. As of this
He's
minute.
my hype man at work.
I can work with you every day.
And the Lobos are away their next game. If you need me to test the range on that thing, I'll gladly do it.
Let's go.
I'll drag that game day trailer with it.
Let's go.
I'm riding with you.
That's right.
Let's go.
We missed the game.
That's
Watch it
awesome.
on somebody else's feed. We're heading to Dallas.
Well, man, you played at University of Texas, right?
You know, a lot of the bench. Got hurt early in my career, but yeah, to answer your question.
Well, I was setting you up for how was your week was.
Well, let me just tell you, how do you score 49 points and lose? That's what I hadn't figured out yet.
That's a very good point.
But let me tell you, I've had my heart broken so many times, but I just keep going back. I'm going to go to the Texas OU game as long as I told my kid, my son went with me. I told him there was somebody there in a wheelchair, and I said, okay, I probably won't ask you to do that, but until we're to that point, please keep taking me.
Clayton sent me his jersey.
Did he really?
I forgot to tell you that.
With technology, there'll be holograms in your living room before long.
That'd be great.
You see how he just did me?
I was listening.
Did you check that? Oh, did he really? Hey, with technology.
No, I thought I had a joke that was going to land, and it didn't, so I ignored you. But we're back to Clayton Smith. That's a dude's a stud.
But if we can watch football and whatever you just said, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, watching this thing with you guys is about like that.
That's cool.
It's very cool. It's very cool.
We appreciate you guys. Y'all are our very first sponsor here in Longview. It gave me a lot of confidence to kind of go all in here. And just bigger and better. We'll have East Texas game day opening up soon. We'll cover a really large area. Really excited about it. We love having you guys on. I like you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, I appreciate it too. It gave him the confidence to make his first bad hire.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, what's fantastic is you guys are really supporting these young men that are, unlike college where they're getting an education or name, image, and likeness, and pros where they're getting paid. These guys are just out here for the love of the game, and the fact that you support them, that's just fantastic.
yeah, I was telling somebody it's just different. Like Longview's just different. Lobos are different. It's a different kind of high school football brand. Like it is a brand at this point. You know, the logo hadn't changed ever. Colors don't change. There's no alternative uniform. Nothing. It's what it is. It's what you remember being from the 70s, or probably longer than that, all the way till now. I don't even remember in the 70s.
And the style of football hasn't changed. They're going to hit you directly in the mouth the whole game.
Get ready. Get ready because they coming.
I'm getting something in my ear. They want me to bring it upstairs. So let's do this. Let's take it upstairs, guys. We appreciate y'all being on.
Appreciate you, brother.
Always a pleasure.
Yes,
if you want a car, go check out Orr.
Absolutely.
We'll be back for halftime.
All right.
And now at Orr, we want to buy your used vehicle and we'll give you guaranteed top dollar for yours. And if you prefer to trade, even better, with massive savings on every new vehicle at Orr Cadillac GMC in Longview.
It's a new season. And at Sport Clips, all of our stylists are clean certified and guy smart. So come in and get yourself back in the game with our legendary MVP experience. It's a mancation with our hot steam towel, relaxing shampoo, and a winning cut. Check in online and walk out with confidence. Sport Clips, it's good to be a guy.
Well, good evening, everybody. Chuck, Zach, and Tony Kirk up in the press box with you now as you've been enjoying the last 45 minutes or so of pregame down on the field with Morgan Smith and the crew. We're back in the box now and getting ready for kickoff, which is coming up in about 16 minutes as we're kind of checking out what's going down on the field right now. Got the blow-up stuff ready to go. And coming up in just a couple of minutes, a hugely important district ball game here in 5A 7-5A Division 1. The Lobos 1-1 in district play. The Bearcats of Sherman 1-1 in district play. You can talk about all the other stuff that matters, but what's mattering the most are those 2 1-1s. Somebody needs to walk out of here with a 2-1 and will, and in a pretty good spot to be competitive for maybe the second spot in this district. The 1 and 2 teams got a little work to do and maybe in danger of missing the playoffs and certainly not being able to host a playoff game.
Well, I really expect both these ball clubs to make the playoffs. They did a year ago. Unfortunately, they didn't get to face each other a year ago because of COVID, and so there was no home and home on this series. Sherman didn't get to host Longview a year ago, but tonight the Lobos do get to host the Sherman Bearcats.
Yeah, and you told us in the pregame you were actually at the last time they met, and you got to be old to remember that game.
Yeah, it was in the fall of '76. They met in bi-district at the old Texas Stadium in a 10-3 ball game. The what historically now we call the Bad Luck Bearcats won that game 10-3. The reason they were the Bad Luck Bearcats is because in back-to-back years they opened up the season as the top-ranked team in the state of Texas, and ties ended their season both times. A strange development. It was before 2 teams made the playoffs. It was before you had playoffs. And the Bearcats, who only had 3 ties in 2 years, never lost a game, but their season ended on ties. And they won against the Lobos in '76. 2 weeks later, they tied Temple in a 26-all ball game. Temple advanced to the state semis and eventually the finals on a tie.
Sherman got nothing.
Sounds
like a Frankie Valli song. Oh, what a night.
It was, and they were truly the Bad Luck Bearcats. But a lot of people attribute the fact that we have multiple team playoffs now to those Bearcat teams from back in the day. They had a tremendous roster, 5 Division I players on the team back then. And but Longview was led by a guy named Hosea Taylor at the time. And Hosea Taylor was went on to the University of Houston, spent a little time in the league, and he was a defensive lineman who got a punt block that night in the loss to Sherman.
He got his punt blocked?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good. I'm sure he's glad you're bringing that up.
Well, it was a strange ball game that night, but Longview at the time was ranked number 2 in the state. Sherman had been the preseason number 1. They tied Plano in district and had dropped down below Longview, and so some people considered it an upset. But like I said, if you knew the Sherman team and all the talent they had, Billy Don Jackson and Hosea Taylor were considered probably 2 of the top 3 recruits in the state that year.
And ended up with a 10-3 ball game.
Yeah.
Which is high scoring back then.
It was.
That's
That's what you expected
right.
back then in a ball, particularly when you had 2 of the premier defenders in the state of Texas.
We don't expect 10-3 tonight. I would be shocked if we have 10-3 after the first quarter. There's probably going to be some points put up, although if you're a Longview fan, you look at that and go, why? Why are they scoring our defense?
Yeah.
We've got a pretty good defense. Last week against Highland Park, they really came out again and played so well. Gave up just 52 yards on the ground against what's not a great offensive Highland Park team, but still they make their money with a pretty balanced offense, and they could not run against the Lobos. They threw for 249. They only ran for 52. So you barely got them over the 300-yard mark on offense. The problem was for the Lobos, it wasn't necessarily getting yardage. We ran for 121.
Yeah.
We threw for 150. We're just about the same number of yards. The problem becomes when you look at the penalty column where we have 13 for 110 yards of backward movement. That's bad news. Add on top of that 3 turnovers, and what becomes a difficult task, beating a good Highland Park team, becomes an almost impossible task, and yet with 3 minutes to go, an onside kick recovery was all that really kept them from having a chance to maybe take that game away from the Scots last Friday.
Well, you got to think on the drive home last Friday night, everybody who was a Lobo supporter, player, coach, whatever, thought to themselves, we'd love to see them again down the road.
Yes.
We think we can beat those guys. We just didn't execute tonight. And so I'm sure this Longview team, but tonight they can't think about that. Tonight they can only think about Sherman, who in their loss to Highland Park actually outgained the
Scots.
The Scots,
Yep.
and moved up and down the field themselves, and
What lost because?
turnovers and mistakes.
It is what it is. When you play the Scots, we said it last week, and we don't want to bore you with it. You can't make mistakes because they don't. And so you give them those advantages. We probably could say we outplayed Highland Park for the most part if, and you hate to say if when you say that, if we got rid of the mistakes. Sherman's probably saying the exact same thing.
Sure.
Our score was 21-16. When they played Highland Park, wasn't quite as close,
No.
but not a blowout either. It was 35-17. So neither team got just devastated by Highland Park. They both kind of would like to maybe take another shot at the Scots, but they're each standing in each other's way for a chance to get a better seeding if you're going to get in the playoffs. Getting a number 2 spot still gets you a home playoff game, and that's a big deal.
And when this district was announced 2 years ago, you knew some people who were used to winning would be in trouble. The West Mesquites of the world, McKinney North had a nice run prior to this year, and Sherman certainly has had some tradition of success. And so when this district was put together, a lot of people went, ooh, no, that's a tough district. And so somebody's going to stay home. Tonight's the night you need to go out and win to ensure you're not one of those staying home.
Well, we can have this conversation about who's going where, but at the moment, we're about to kick off what would be week number 7 for us, number 8 for us. There's not a team in this district's been eliminated from the playoffs yet, even though there's 2 0-3s. Wiley East and West Mesquite have not won a game, but the other 5 become problematic. Highland Park's 2-0. Tyler still sitting at 2-0. Lobos are 2-1. McKinney North is 2-1. Sherman had a bye week last week. They're 1-1. There's 5 legitimate teams competing for 4 legitimate spots. And you mentioned a good team's going to be, potentially not going home. We can look at the first 5 and say we know one of those is not going to make the postseason, and they're probably going to have a pretty good year by the end of it, and still are not going to get a playoff berth.
And if you look at Sherman's non-district schedule, they were up and down in non-district.
Yes.
They were 500, 2-2 in non-district, had a couple of impressive wins and some disappointing losses.
Well, they lost to Denison to begin things, and of course, for anybody that knows, and you know it very well, it's in your neck of the woods. 117 times they've played. We talked about the Longview Marshall series and how many times they've played each other. Well, number 2 in the state is Denison and Sherman, and Denison has won 9 straight times now. So Sherman opened with that loss. They beat Mount Pleasant. We don't think they're that good, Mount Pleasant, but it was a 36-35 ball game. But early in the year, they beat Saginaw. I couldn't tell you anything about Saginaw.
No, but they beat the tar out of it. It was like 56-0.
52-10.
And then they turn around and have that type of loss.
To McKinney.
Yeah.
They lose 56-0.
And that's McKinney High, not
Right.
McKinney North,
Right.
the old McKinney High, the Lions.
So they're up, down, up, down. They're 3-3 coming into this. They're 1-1 in district. This would be their signature win for the year at the moment if they pull this off. But as you said, for the Lobos, putting the taste of a loss you should have not had last week out of your mouth, focusing on this and taking care of business for a team you have not seen in, 50 or 40-odd years now, is going to be the job for John King and this crew tonight, trying to get these kids to get something good early. Opening drive last week at Highland Park, fumble going in at the 5-yard line. It kind of set the tone for, oh no, not again. Open the second half, fumble. Recovered, taken for a touchdown for Highland Park. You're like, oh no, not again. They started the 2 halves with negative offensive plays. That can't happen tonight.
No, you want to get off to a great start. You want to clean it up. We've talked to people about playing a clean game. That's, I think, first and foremost in Longview's mind tonight. Come out here, do away with the mistakes, play a clean game, start moving towards some momentum for the playoffs.
And we had talked last week before the game how clean they had been the prior weeks,
Yes.
that they had actually played very well in the win that they had against Wiley East and West Mesquite. They actually were playing better.
Yeah.
They had the 3-game, 5-game winning streak. They didn't play great against Marshall. They played okay against Tyler Legacy. They beat a pretty good Bryant team, even though folks around here still kind of poo-poo it's the Arkansas team. But it looked like we were starting to see mistakes go away. And then came last week, where delay of game penalties, motion penalties, unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, face mask penalties. It was on every side of the ball that they were having those mistakes, and those are mental things.
Yes.
And those can't happen if you're going to go deep into the playoffs. Longview fell from number 4 in the state to number 7, but they're still sitting in the top 10. And I think that's a testament to this program's legacy and the fact that looking at it, it was a close game to Highland Park that they had the ability to win. If they'd eliminated those things, the state still looks at them and says, you know what, we still think they're a top 10 program.
Hey, I want to give you a heads up on who our officials are tonight as we get ready for the ball game. Our referee is going to be Daniel Pickpack. Our umpire is going to be John Cannon. Headline judge Randy McGill. Line judge Brian Smith. Back judge Pierce Pickpack. Field judge Jonathan Grace. And our side judge tonight is going to be Chance Merritt. And they're out of the East Texas chapter of officials.
Let's talk about Sherman's coach for just a second. We're about to get the color guard out there. Corey Kane's his name. You know him if you know anything about big-time football in Texas for a number of years, the DC in Allen. So he's got plenty of rings in his pocket. He gets this job last year after twice being turned down for the Allen job, and he lost it the last time out. Well, because there's a guy down in Arkansas lost his job.
Yeah.
Chad Morris got the Allen job instead, so Corey Kane was available. He takes the job, and it's his first ever head coaching job. So that's a thing we're going to keep an eye on as well, is the new head coach over at Sherman, and a chance for him to put a signature win on his resume for this year.
All right, getting ready for the national anthem here. We also want to point out the fact that I shared a little history with you about these two teams. These two schools, we'll talk about after the national anthem, sure to coach back in the day.
We'll talk about that in a minute. We'll be quiet for a couple. Stuff going down the field we want you to be able to see and hear without us. All right, excellent job as always by the Lobo Band. We're getting ready for the captains to come out to the middle of the field here in just a couple of minutes. Back to Coach Kane for just a couple of minutes. He replaced J.D. Martinez, who had 5 years in Sherman. Couldn't get over the hump, though. 24 and 28 in those years. Made the playoff 3 times, but just never got anything big going. Last year they were 5-5 and finished 4-1 in district. Again, without playing the Lobos, they ended up with the 3rd spot, while Longview got the 2nd spot. But then we bring in the brand-new coach, and so Corey Kane, who's a very defensive-minded coach, having had that position in Allen, is trying to instill a little different culture here in Sherman about being a little more aggressive and a little bit better flying around for the football as he takes over his first year in the big chair. You getting captains?
I'm getting some captains.
All right.
I got 4 out of 6 before they got together. For Longview tonight, looks like Juan Chavez, Nathan McGee, Hudson Lloyd, and K'Ron Stanford. K'Ron Stanford is
DK Stanford, yeah.
So, and looks like Anthony. Oh, all right. Help me there with
Gianfrido.
And Levi Eula is the one of the captains.
Well, and Phoenix, the quarterback, Phoenix Grant is out there. That's number 7. You're going to see a lot of him tonight. He's a dual threat quarterback, and you will be getting a lot of him. You see the Lobos with the pink socks. It's October, and of course we're going to see a lot of folks showing the
pink
respect for the breast cancer awareness
month.
Yep. And in fact, they've pretty much made it to all cancer awareness now. But the Lobos are sporting the pink socks today. John King with 194 wins. His opponent on the other side has 3. So a little bit of a historical mismatch for wins and losses, but Coach King still looking for that 195. He was denied that last week when Randy Allen got number 419 for Highland Park. Longview won the toss. They'll defer. And as a result, Lobos are going to be lining up to our left, if you will. Temperature out here is about 74, 73 degrees. We got about a 15-mile-an-hour wind. Now, it's died down a little bit now, but in pregame, it was actually a very gusty wind that we were dealing with.
You know, we mentioned that 76 meeting. The Bearcats that night were coached by Tommy Hudspeth. Tommy Hudspeth left Longview High School. He was the head football coach here at Longview to take the Sherman job in 1970. And he spent 3 or 4 years here in Longview as the head coach, went on to Sherman, had a long career at Mesquite High School, actually took McKinney to the state finals years ago. But so these two programs actually shared a very successful coach back in the day.
All right, well, the Lobos are going to be kicking off. Michael Fields will tee the ball up at about on the 40-yard line, not about. Back deep for Sherman. Elijah Chapman, he's the guy off on the right. He's inside the 10-yard line. And away we go. And the first kick from Fields is in the middle of the end zone, and that's where it'll come out to the 25-yard line for Sherman as they begin things on offense for the first time. Here's their offensive setup before we get ready to roll here. Tavion Scruggs is their left tackle. He's 6'3", 250. Next to him, Jaden Lynch, a senior. Kason DeBois is the senior center. Tyler Doris, the right guard. Norbert Sibian is the right tackle. He's 6'3", 260. Tight ends Ryan Jernigan. Their receivers are J.D. Parker, Aries Jones, Vontrell Sanders, and Elijah Chapman. Phoenix Grant is the quarterback. He's a junior. Caleb Thompson is the tailback, and he's in the backfield. As we start on first down, we'll set the Lobo defense up in a second. Grant back to pass. That one's caught incomplete across the 30-yard line for a gain of about 6. It'll be second down as Chapman gets the first catch of the game.
Well, the way you notice, Simmons is not in the starting lineup tonight for the Lobos. He was one of the sophomore corners. Willie Nelson's out there, but the corner on the near side is Curry tonight.
All right, so second down and 6. Actually, the catch at times Zakorian Harris, who's gotten the start for Sherman, who did not get as much information tonight, so we're kind of flying a little bit blind with them. But it's second down and 4. That's Harris who goes in motion, and back to pass is Grant. He's looking for his guy. Harris makes the catch, and he's taken down at about the 38-yard line. Quickly closing on that and finishing it off is, who is our guy out there? 18 is playing corner. Yeah, that is Jacavion Curry who's getting that start at corner. So as you said, got a couple of different bodies out there, and we'll talk about that in a minute.
Back this week at safety.
Yes. So we'll have a first down, 38-yard line. They picked up about 7 on that play.
Well, Grant's a big kid at quarterback.
Ran in that pistol. And on first down, they'll hand off, and there's nothing doing. Door slammed shut in a hurry on Caleb Thompson. It'll be second down coming up. Lobo defense, Billy Smith, Leonard Epps, and Jesse Fairchild have been the starters across the line, and we are rotating guys in all game long. The linebackers have been outstanding. Tadarian Boone, Caden Brooks, Devin Isaac, and Jeremiah Rugley. Willie Nelson is at one of the corners, and as we said just a few minutes ago, the second corner is Jacavion Curry. The safeties are Chase Smith and Kylan Sublett. Second down and 11 on the 1-yard loss, and we're going to go back to the ground. Well, I say back to the ground. Looking to pass, and up Phoenix Grant decides to tuck it and run, and he'll be ushered out of bounds just across the 40. Rugley's the closest to him after a gain of about 4, and it'll bring up third down, and they've still got to get about 8.
It's one of those zone reads that has a pass option. The effort there, what Grant had hoped to do was to draw the defense up to him when it looked like he was going to run the ball. It just didn't work.
So third down, we'll call it 7 at the 41-yard line.
They've got the H-back to the left side and the running back beside the quarterback in their version of the shotgun.
So on third down, they'll still have their 3 receivers set. One guy's up as an H-back. Now back to pass Grant. He's in all kinds of trouble. Finds a man open, caught at the 45-yard line, and off to the races Elijah Chapman. He's going to go unmolested all the way to the end zone, and it's 6-0. Bearcats with the lead on the first drive of the game.
Well, we talked about it on the previous play. You've got a run option that on the back end of it has a pass option. We talked about on the previous play, Longview didn't bite. No one came up. They stayed with their coverage. That time, everybody bit. The slot receiver ran wide open down the field. Quarterback found him for an easy 6.
Yeah, and so just like that, 2 minutes and 2 seconds into the game, 6-0. Point after try is up and good. That's converted by the Bearcats kicker. That is Dane Castleberry. So it's a 7-0 lead. 9:58 to play in the first quarter. We'll take a 30-second break. We're coming right back to Longview Game Day.
And now at Orr, we want to buy your used vehicle and we'll give you guaranteed top dollar for yours. And if you prefer to trade, even better, with massive savings on every new vehicle at Orr Cadillac GMC in Longview.
All right, welcome back. 9:58 to play in the first quarter, and not the start the Lobos were going to want.
No, it was a good-looking play. I'll be honest, I haven't seen a lot of that. I've seen some of it as people develop that zone read game where you're giving quarterbacks a pass option. Obviously, if you're the defense, what you've got to read on that is the offensive line. If it is a running play, those offensive linemen are going to have to get downfield to try to block. That particular play, they didn't release and go downfield, but somebody on the Longview defense didn't read that, and so they came up to try to make the play on the running game, and that left a receiver wide open downfield.
Castleberry getting ready to kick off. Lobos will send back deep. Combination of Amari Hamilton and DeKalen Taylor. They're at the 10-yard line, 15-yard line. Here's a kick. It's heading for Hamilton. We'll gather it in at the 8. For the 15, the 20. 25 flag comes flying in, and this one's going to be going backwards as Hamilton gets stopped at the 24-yard line, but it'll be a penalty added to it, it looks like.
Tough kick to return. Stayed up in the air quite a while, and the return man had to back up. When you take that momentum away, it's awful tough to get that speed back up. Unfortunately, probably got the block in the back, and that's going to result in a walk-off here, and that's not going to be very good field position for the Lobos who trail 7-0.
Yeah, there you go. So they'll walk this one inside the 15 down to about the 13-yard line, and that's where Longview is going to get the ball for their first possession of this ball game. So trailing 7-0, away we go. Under center, quarterback Jordan Allen. That's a quick handoff and breaking out in the open to the 35, the 40, the 50, and across midfield down to about the 35-yard line. Taylor Tatum with the carry. He'll be down at the 37-yard line, and the Lobos got a little something started.
Well, it's been about a month since we've seen Taylor Tatum get the start at the I-back position. No power eye that time. It was simply he alone in the backfield. He gets that big old 8-9-yard running start behind the quarterback, and that time he turned the speed up quickly and got to the corner.
All right, so first down Lobos. They'll mark him down actually on the 35-yard line. Back to pass. Allen looking. Finally, he gets rid of it, and it's a little bit long for a Victor Bush, the tight end, at about the 20-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, Bush had dragged all the way across the field and unfortunately unable to find him. Looks like we're going to have a substitution. As I don't have 52 on the roster for Longview, but one of the Longview offensive linemen lost his helmet and had to go off. I think that was Fairchild. Well, no, Fairchild's defense.
No, it's Angel Ramos. Ramos. So 2nd down and 10 at the 35-yard line. Taylor Tatum's run got him out of a big hole as he rumbled his way for 50 yards. All right, on 2nd down, swing pass. That's out to Tatum. Well, he's got a little bit of room to run across the 30, the 25, and pile drive down on the 21-yard line for a gain of 15 or 14, and they'll make it a 1st down.
Yeah, it was actually Jax Norman who had to go to the sideline there. But either way, good job that time. They got Tatum in space and gave him some room to operate. Big 1st down. Have you seen Hale tonight?
I saw him when they were warming up. And
he's on the sideline on the near side. I haven't seen him on the field.
Yep. Taylor's in the slot. Hamilton's out wide right. 1st down at the 21-yard line. Back to the ground to Taylor Tatum, and he's going to get across the 20 as he gets smothered up by Tito Chavez for a gain of about 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
Got bottled up by some Tito.
Tito Chavez on the stop.
It's a great name.
Sherman's got a bunch of great names. Kudos to the folks up in Grayson County there for giving their sons some very cool names to have. You got Chuck Zach.
I do. It's not bad.
Charles.
It's just not all that. All right, so at the 17-yard line, Allen looking back behind him, maybe changing a signal or something, but handing off to Tatum right up the middle. Boy, he's got a good room to run and gets taken down at the 9-yard line. That's good for a 1st down. It'll be 1st and goal, Lobos, with 8:04 left to play in the 1st quarter.
Bearcats brought some pressure from the outside, but it was too late. Tatum got the running lane up the middle, and huge gain there. It's going to put it 1st and goal.
All right, Lobos started this drive back on the 13-yard line. They have marched smartly down the field to the 9. 1st down and goal from the 9-yard line. On 1st down, how about another one? Taylor Tatum getting a lot of work here in this 1st quarter. He's inside the 5 down to the 2-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and goal.
Tell you what, they're in that power I formation with the fullback, and Isaiah Harris did a great job. His lead block helped spring Tatum for the big yardage. Those are tough yards down inside that 10-yard line, and that was a huge gain on 1st and goal.
And a whole lot of Taylor Tatum here. 2nd down and goal. Coming up on 7 minutes to play in the quarter. Handoff again to Tatum. Avoids the first tackler. Dives into the end zone. And the Lobos answer with 7:07 to play in the quarter as Taylor Tatum goes in from 2 yards away.
It's exactly what they wanted to do. Answer and do so with a very clean drive. We talked about that in the pregame. Don't want to make mistakes. Don't want to derail drives with turnovers and penalties. That time had a penalty on the kickoff, but once they got that offense rolling, looked very good.
Yeah, they marched down big chunks of yardage. Taylor Tatum. Here's Fields on for the point after. That's up and good. We're tied at 7. 7:07 to play in the 1st quarter. We'll take a break. You're listening and watching Game Day.
Don't fumble when you're looking for your next trailer. At R&J Trailers, we got the hookup. Cargo Mate, Hallmark, Text Line, Diamond C. We've got the inventory selection to get you into the end zone. Snap into savings with R&J Trailers. Don't pass up on the best deals around. R&J Trailers in Longview and online at rnjtrailers.com. We've got the hookup.
All righty, welcome back. Well, that was quick on both sides. Bearcats went down the field in a hurry, and the Lobos matched it. Scoring drive, 6 plays, 87 yards. They did that in 1:09 and got the game-tying touchdown. And so much for that 10-3 from 1976. They scored 13. We've already got 14 in this one.
It's a different time, different place. But either way, that's exactly what John King's Lobos wanted to do. March down the field, show Sherman that he had a nice little play there. but we feel our offense can operate against you, and that time they did.
That was a whole bunch of Taylor Tatum. Here's the kickoff. This one's going to go down to the 5-yard line, dropped at the 5, scooped back up and taken out across the 15, the 20, still on his feet, across the 21-yard line, and that's where all of that will come to a dramatic end as Harris returns that one up to the 21. Tatum, 5 carries, all 87 yards on that drive.
Tell you what, when a return man makes a mistake like that, both sidelines get nervous because obviously if you're the return team, you're worried about maintaining possession. That coverage team's always concerned that people are going to get out of sync, that bobble's going to cause your people to lose their lane assignments and all, but good job by Longview that time not to allow that to happen.
Late sub coming into the game as Longview ran off of the field, Caden Brooks. First down at the 22-yard line. 3 receivers to the left. Phoenix Grant looking middle. That's caught by up, dropped it by Harris. Boy, just coming up on him in a hurry was Chase Smith, and that may have influenced Harris not hanging on to that ball, and it's 2nd down and 10.
What's that term you like to use on that? Alligator arms?
Oh, I don't like to use it. That's just what it is.
You got a little bit of
little T-Rex arms.
Yeah. That time we saw Simmons back on the field. Jaden didn't start tonight, but he's back out there on the right corner now.
It's 2nd down and 10. It's Mondre Washington in the game over here on the near side. Grant back to pass, got a little pressure coming, steps away from it, tosses it actually backward to the 17-yard line. I tell you what, that tailback, Caleb Thompson, does not try to avoid any contact at all. He went head on as Simmons is back in the game here. Watch this on the replay. A little toss out there, closing in a hurry, and Thompson just doesn't even move.
Yeah, typically you want those backs in that space out there, so they've got all the room in the world to maneuver around that defender. Thompson had no interest in that.
No, he gained 3 on the play. So it's 3rd down and 7 at the 25-yard line. Grant going to take a look over to the sideline. They are everybody's set, and then we're waiting for the play. Aries Jones is the receiver on the far side of the field. He's the outside guy. And back to pass Grant. He'll toss this one, in and out of the hands of Harris. That could have been trouble as 2 Lobos were closing in a hurry with a chance for that. Neither one got to it, and it falls incomplete, and that's a 3 and out for the Bearcats.
Chase Smith had delusions of a pick 6 there. He was coming up quickly. They had tried to use Thompson as a decoy, kind of swung him out to the left side. That time Grant looked at him, but quickly came back to the right side and almost threw that thing into the hands of a Lobo.
All right, punting time for Sherman. Ian Majubi is the punter. He's back on his 10-yard line. It's a good snap, not really much pressure. This one does not go far. It's going to hit at the 50-yard line. Ball muffed, and luckily the Lobos fell on that at the 49-yard line. Very risky decision to come up and grab that by Taylor. And he got bailed out by a team. I think that was 17 that recovered that for the Lobos. That's Michaelan Flowers, the senior defensive back, who's been in the starting lineup a little bit here this evening. But 1st down, Lobos at the 49 to Sherman.
I agree it was risky, but I think it was the thing to do. You want to execute, you want to make the catch, but at the same time you don't want that ball to hit the turf and roll another 20 yards.
All right, so 1st down for the Lobos as they'll go back on offense at the 49. And in motion, Isaiah Harris will toss it out to him. He catches it, gets across the 50, and piles down at about the 42-yard line. It's a gain of 7. It'll be 2nd down and 3.
A little wall they set up over there, a little tunnel-type screen where they had the fullback going to the flat, had all 3 receivers on that side, and they basically pushed one defender downfield and then blocked the other 2 to try to give him some space, and he took advantage of it.
First completion for Allen. Offensive line for the Lobos, DeQuillan Vaughn, Christian Arnett, Tavion Morgan, Blair Williams, Jax Norman. It's the starters from left to right. Man in motions. Taylor will fake a handoff to him. Handoff instead to Taylor Tatum, who will go across the 40, where he is dropped at the 38-yard line. That's a pretty good open field tackle by number 1. That's Josiah Banks, the safety for the Bearcats.
I agree, good job on the tackle, but by then he'd gained 1st down yardage. Taylor Tatum kind of settling back into that starting row. We saw him get hurt in the Tyler Legacy game and end up having to sit for a couple of weeks, and Jared Lewis looked awful good in his absence, but Taylor looks good tonight in the start.
Taylor had 8 carries for 31 yards. He's well past that already. Allen back to pass, looking. Got a man, that's caught. That's Taylor who'll catch it at the 22. He goes down to the 18, 20-yard gain and a first down for the Lobos.
Seems a long time ago we thought that Joshua Thomas was going to be the passing quarterback, Jordan Allen the running quarterback. That was a good play by Jordan Allen. He got his feet set. He let the routes clear, didn't rush the throw, delivered a nice strike, and it's a big first down.
Victor Bush, the tight end. He'll split to the left. Seen a lot of Hamilton and Taylor. They're the receivers to the right. First down at the 18. Back to the ground to Taylor Tatum. Got some room to the races. He goes inside the 10. Dives to the end zone. Touchdown Lobos with 4:11 to play in the quarter. And it is a big quarter for Taylor Tatum, who just went over the 100-yard mark in the quarter.
Tell you what, I say it every week. It's tough to prepare for the Lobos. They're a power rushing team. Every so often they get in that spread offense. They spread you out, and when they do, they make those rushing plays a lot easier to execute.
Harrells will be the holder. Fields the kick. The point after's up and good. 14-7 Lobos. 4:11 to play in quarter number 1. Quick timeout. Back to Longview game day.
It's a new season. And at Sport Clips, all of our stylists are clean certified and guy smart. So come in and get yourself back in the game with our legendary MVP experience. It's a mancation with our hot steam towel, relaxing shampoo, and a winning cut. Check in online and walk out with confidence. Sport Clips, it's good to be a guy.
Well, it only took 4 plays to go 49 yards for the Lobos to take the lead. 20 of that through the air, the other 29 on the ground, and that belonged to Taylor Tatum, who right now 7 carries, 109 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He came into this game with 272 yards, and as you said, he missed a big chunk of the season because of injuries, and right now he is just rounding into shape, and that's a great quarter so far, and it's not even close to over with 4:11 left.
It was a good night's work in 8 minutes.
Yeah.
As you said, though, Tatum trying to regain that position, and wasn't anything Jared Lewis did. He had a great run.
Yes.
As the featured eye back.
Yeah, Lewis, at the moment, 544 yards on the year. Right now, it has been Taylor Tatum. This one sails into the end zone for Michael Fields, and will come back out to the 25-yard line. And well, Sherman's finding out very quickly they're going to have to score a lot tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what, Longview's back home. They feel comfortable. They're executing well, and looks like, let's see, I can't see if that's 16 or 19 down there with his shoulder hurting on him. We'll check on him later.
Yeah, that's not good. We don't want to see that.
No, especially on a non-contact play. That's actually 19.
Okay, well, 16 was Mayfield. I knew
There's
Drake
Taylor
Mayfield
out there,
who had been playing some in the secondary already. All right, first down, 25-yard line. To the ground go the Bearcats, and Hamilton getting his way out to the 30-yard line. Caleb Thompson, rather, for a gain of 5. It'll be second down and 5.
Yeah, good job that time by Isaac to bring him down in the open field. Once again, Curry's back there at the corner.
Yeah, Devin had a quiet week last week. Did not have a lot. I think he had 3-4 tackles against Highland Park, which is unusual. He's the leading tackler on this team with 54 tackles, but a quiet night for him. You don't expect that to happen too many more times.
No Buddha Garrett again tonight.
No, he's actually I saw him in a walking boot basically on. Second down and 5. To the ground again goes Sherman, and this is going to be a first down as a back carries a couple of defenders across the 35. That's their second back, Kane Bowen. He's a 180-pound freshman who just ran for about 8, carrying a couple guys with him.
What do you call a powerful running back for the Bearcats? Would that be like a Sherman tank?
Ooh, maybe.
Just asking.
Maybe. All right, so they get the first down out at the 33-yard line.
2 back set this time.
I say 33. How about 38-yard line? How about we get the yards right? That would be good. A first down there, and to the ground again they go, and this one clogged up in a hurry. A bunch of Lobos all over that. At the bottom is Billy Smith. And it's going to bring up 2nd down and 10. Caden Brooks also down there as they piled up on the tailback, Caleb Thompson.
That's the first time we've seen them running the 2-back set tonight. They came out in an H-back with a single back in the backfield earlier. This time trying to do a little more between the tackles.
2nd down and still 10. No gain on that one. Down to the last 2:16 of this first quarter. 14-7. Lobos with the lead. They fell behind 7-0. They've scored 14 in a row. Phoenix Grant back to pass. Slant and intended for number 0. That's Vontrell Sanders. It falls incomplete, and it's 3rd and 10.
That time, one of the linebackers was in the passing lane momentarily, and Grant had to wait for him to clear. And by the time he waited for him to clear, Sanders was still open. He just didn't get him the ball.
Simmons on the coverage down the bottom of your screen on the outside man. And again, we're shifting people in. Caden Brooks out again as Mondre Washington checks back into the game. 3rd down and 10 for the Bearcats.
Single back, 4 wideouts.
Phoenix Grant to the ground. They're going to go a little bit surprising and caught the Lobos off guard. As Thompson rumbles his way to the 48-yard line and picks up the 11 that he needed for the first down.
Little deception there. They came out with 4 wideouts on 3rd and long. You figure they're going to be looking downfield. Instead, they give Thompson an opportunity to run against that spread-out defense, and he picks up a first down.
Getting a lot of time for Mondre Washington. Junior defensive back is out there. He's on the far side of the field this time.
Yeah, Boone's moved to the near side in his linebacking spot.
All right, 1st down and 10 at the 48-yard line. 1:30 to play in the quarter. Grant going deep, wide open. Nobody near him, and in fact, so open, Elijah Chapman stopped expecting to get hit, and he got chased down from behind. Willie Nelson gets him down. They come out with the ball, but it's already ruled down at the 10-yard line. For a second time, the Lobos have blown a coverage in the middle of the field. And it's 1st and goal for the Bearcats with 1:20 left to play in this quarter.
Well, we talked about them pounding between the tackles that time, a little play action, and that allowed Chapman to get wide open. It's October. I don't know if he had a ghost defender out there with him, is why he stopped and hesitated. But had he hit the gas right away, I think he'd have been in the end zone.
I think he was shocked. There was no defender around him. He kind of coiled up to get a hit and didn't get one. 1st down handoff, Thompson sweeping right. Defenders get there, and he busts a couple of tackles. Not something you'll see very often, as Boone was one of the 2 guys that missed the tackle over there, and it's going to be 2nd down and goal.
Yeah, for a moment it looked like Boone was going to make an outstanding play. Unfortunately, unable to wrap up, and that allowed the running back Thompson to get deeper down in there towards that goal line. And so opportunity for the Bearcats to tie this thing up. Longview needs to stiffen up the D and try to keep them to a field goal as the first quarter begins to run down.
That was Boone and Sublett. Both of them looked like they were putting shoulders down and not wrapping. 2nd down and goal at the 3. Phoenix Grant handing off again, this time hit in the backfield. That's Caden Brooks that got there first, and that's going to be a loss of 1. I'm going to say got to the 3, so no gain on the play. We'll make it 3rd down and goal. And that'll be the last play of the quarter. As it runs down to zeros, we'll flip sides of the fields, go to the other end zone. We'll end the first quarter with Longview with a 14-7 lead. Back in just a minute here on Longview Game Day.
Howdy, East Texas. Neil McCoy here for Patterson Nissan in Longview, home of the free lifetime warranty. Shopping for a pre-owned vehicle has never been easier. Just head over to PattersonCars.com and you'll find over 1,400 quality pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, many certified pre-owned and backed by the Patterson Lifetime Warranty. And you can buy with confidence because each one has to pass a 167-point inspection before it's listed for sale. Log on and find your new-to-you pre-owned car, truck, or SUV at PattersonCars.com.
As a TCI for several years.
Well, wide open first quarter. Longview with 136 yards of offense in that first quarter, 109 of that on the ground. Sherman, no slouch. They've got 150 yards of offense, 124 theirs is on the air. So a little contrast to styles so far through the first quarter of play, and we'll come back with a 3rd down and goal from the 3-yard line.
Yeah, we're going to see what Coach Kane will try to do to punch this thing in. It'll be interesting to see if he gets a yard or so will he go for it on 4th down, or early on he settled for a field goal? But first, the Lobos got to try to keep him out of the end zone.
Well, I would think on his end, having watched a defense that hadn't stopped Longview yet, playing for field goals will cost you a game tonight.
Simmons back in on the far side. Willie Nelson here on the near side in the corners positions.
All right, so 3rd down and goal at the 3.
Parents, don't forget to pick up your mini cheerleaders.
It'll be, looks like Thompson in the backfield with Phoenix Grant, and they're going to run a really tight formation. A team that really likes to spread you out has brought in an extra tight end.
Who they will throw to 85.
Yep. 3rd down, handoff again. Thompson trying to cut toward the goal line, powering his way, but the Lobos stand him up at the 2, and he falls forward to just inside the 2. It'll be 4th down and goal.
This is a scenario we discussed before the play, that if Coach Kane picks up a yard or two, will he go for it on 4th down? Looks like he's going to. He calls his quarterback, Grant, over. He's going to discuss with him. One personnel change looks like for the offense, as looks like the young man, 25, the freshman's coming in.
Yep, they're going to bring the big back. I say big, 180 pounds.
Broad-shouldered young man, but he looked a little confused where to line up. Grant talks to him.
DK Stanford, by the way, was the tackler on that. This is going to be Grant. He's trying to run to the edge. He reaches out the ball, and he's going to get it across the pylon to make it a 14-13 game with 11 minutes and 8 seconds to play here in the first half.
Bowen, who had been brought in to play running back, makes a lead block. Grant gets to the outside, and when he does, he has to lay out and hold the ball in his hand. But it looks like from the replay he did get there, and that's a touchdown.
Yeah, no knees down, and you don't get a replay down there anyway for the officials. So a chance to tie this thing up is Castleberry. Snaps on the money, kick is on the way. We got a 14-14 game, 11:08 left to play in the first half. And we're just going to keep it here during this little break.
Well, if we weren't sure about whether it was touchdown or not, we were prepared to go to the first base umpire.
Were we?
And make sure that.
See if you went around?
Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, that's hateful right there. That's just hateful.
That's giant hate is what that is.
You are not lying. Hey, don't forget the other teams in district are at it tonight. Highland Park, who a year ago lost at McKinney North. This time getting them over at their place. Oh, no, actually they lost at home against McKinney last year. They're going to go to McKinney North tonight to try to avenge last year's 31-30 loss.
Yeah, they're leaving that dump of a stadium over at Highland and going to that nice new stadium over there in McKinney.
Yeah.
I feel better that those HP kids are getting to play somewhere decent for once.
Really? You'll see as Sherman's going to kick the ball off, like Michael Fields was when he was kicking in the first quarter. They're kicking with the wind behind them now. So we'll see if Castleberry is able to reach the end zone with his kickoffs. You would kind of think with that 15-mile-an-hour wind, it's going to really render the return game kind of moot for the kick returners if they're lined up on this right side. And Hamilton is going back along with Taylor. The rest of the 9, they're staying pretty close. They're backing up a little bit now, but they're expecting, and we've seen Corey Kane, according to John King, he likes to try to steal possessions, and they're really preparing for that in case they go onside kick, and instead he's going to boot this deep. It'll be Hamilton at the 3-yard line. Boy, it got coming on him in a hurry. Hamilton has to slow down, makes a move around him, spins down, and will just make it to the 20-yard line. That's where the Lobos will start with 10:57 to play in the first half.
Yeah, a little bit of pushing and shoving at the end of that thing. That's one of those things, if you're at Longview, you don't want to penalize yourself and start in a bad spot. Looks like the field position is going to be right at the 20. It was a nice hanging kick once again, and the return opportunity was limited as the Lobos are back in business on their own 20.
You saw number 11 flash in there and slow Hamilton down. That's Connor Clark, who's the actual holder for them when they kick extra points and field goals. All right, first down, Lobos at the 20. Allen to hand off to Jarrett Lewis, who gets his first action, and he's got a first down as he spins for a 16, almost 17-yard gain. Yeah, don't forget me, I'm still here.
Yeah, well, Jalen Hell, who's only played a couple series tonight, was out there that time doing a good job of maintaining his block downfield. But as you said, Lewis has done an excellent job this season. Dual backs that time on either side of Jordan Allen. That time Lewis got the touch.
Pick your poison. Lewis looks like he's going to get this series Harris is the fullback in front of him on first down. Back to the ground. He's hitting the backfield. That thing blew up in a hurry. Ball's down.
Ball's out.
Yeah, and we'll see if we can get a green shirt on top of that. Nobody from Sherman's jumping up and down excited just yet. That's a loss back to the 34-yard line. 3-yard loss on the play. And Allen gets one carry, and now he's coming off with a shoulder that looks bummed. Is that actually? No, that's not him. That's 25, not 24. Instead, excuse me, that's Kendravion McFarland, it looks like, that may have come out with the shoulder.
Either way, Longview maintains possession, and they suffer a 3-yard loss, 2-yard loss there on first down, and so dug themselves a little hole after the impressive first down on the previous play.
Taylor Tatum back in there at tailback. Jordan Allen comes back into the huddle.
The other guy we're seeing tonight is Jertavian Wright's back in there this week.
All right, Hale split out wide left. Got the high pulled up pink socks. Back to pass. Allen looking down the field. Oh, gets grabbed by the helmet, but avoids that tackle. Slides across the 45-yard line, and the slide started about a yard shy of the first down, so it's going to bring up 3rd down and 1.
Still a good job by Allen to avoid the rush. As you described, they almost face masked him, but the defender pulled back away right at the last moment, and that allowed Allen some open field to operate, and he did slide a little short, but I think when you've got one quarterback already injured, you're fine with that.
Well, and speaking of that one quarterback already injured, talking about Josh Thomas, who actually is in uniform tonight and was warming up. They had 3 quarterbacks for the first time in weeks out there in warm-up. Handoff to Taylor Tatum. He's got the first and more. 50-yard line. Tries to make a stutter stop at the 40 and goes out at the 33, 34-yard line for another first down.
Yeah, the defensive back, Connor Clark, did a good job. Looked like for a moment he was going to be abused by Taylor Tatum, but he stuck with it and brought him down. Still, big gain. They gets him another first down, and those chains keep moving.
Yeah, 20 more for Taylor Tatum. The ball's going to be marked down on the 34-yard line of Sherman.
Isaiah Harris, fullback, checks out, so we'll see if they go with the I without the fullback this time. That looks like it's going to be what they're going to do with the H-back instead.
All right, so at the 34, first down and 10 Longview. This time a little handoff on the sweep. That's Hale coming this way, and he's got to stop and get spun and picks up maybe 2.5 yards. Maybe to the 31-yard line where it'll be 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, that time it looked a little awkward on that. Coach was looking at Wright as if maybe Wright didn't get a block downfield or something. But either way, for a moment it looked like it was going to develop, and then it just derailed quickly. But either way, positive yards on first down. You're certainly in 4-down territory here, and that's what you want is those positive yards.
Yeah, Lobos brought that play out a couple of weeks ago. Didn't really run it very well, but they ran it a couple times, and they're trying it again here to give defenses something to think about. Hale, the lone receiver, he's out split wide to the right. Late pitch by Allen, who gets it out there to Taylor Tatum. He's got a first down, and he'll be knocked out of bounds at the 21-yard line after he picks up 10 more.
Well, we scored a lot more points than we did back in 1976, but that looked a lot like 1976. An I-back option. Quarterback goes down the line. Defensive end wraps him up, and just as he does, he pitches the ball out, and that gave the back a lot of room to operate.
Tatum's averaging about 15 yards a carry. He's got 9 for 139 and 2 touchdowns, and we're just about midway through this second quarter. Hamilton back in the game as he splits out wide left. Allen, handoff again up the middle. Taylor Tatum, 15-yard line, 10-yard line, busting this further outside. The 5 dives for the end zone. He got in again from 21 yards away, and what a night he's having. 10 carries, 160 yards, and 3 touchdowns in the first quarter and a half.
Almost like an old-fashioned crossbuck play. You brought the other back. That time it was the fullback Harris, who was on one side of the quarterback across, and made a block in front, and after that, Tatum just took it to the house.
All right, Lobos go back on top. Fields point after try up and good, 21-14. Lobos with the lead, 7:40 left to play in the first half. We'll take a timeout, coming right back to game day.
It's a new season. And at Sport Clips, all of our stylists are clean certified and guy smart. So come in and get yourself back in the game with our legendary MVP experience. It's a mancation with our hot steam towel, relaxing shampoo, and a winning cut. Check in online and walk out with confidence. Sport Clips. It's good to be a guy.
All right, welcome back. 21-14, another impressive Lobo drive. That one, 7 plays, 80 yards, a little more than 3 minutes worth of time, and it ends with Taylor Tatum's 3rd touchdown of this first half.
Well, I'll tell you what, we knew going in this year, we talked to John King in the summer, we thought he was going to be the feature back. We saw him early. He had some flashes of being very good. But tonight, he just looked outstanding.
The Lobos have run 17 offensive plays and have 3 touchdowns to show for it. To kick off inside the 2-yard line, going all the way back to the 1. That's Harris. 25-yard lines where he squeezes out to. It'll be first down Bearcats, trailing 21-14, 7:32 left to play in the first half.
Impressive kick by Fields that time. He kind of kicked a line drive that just cut through that wind he was kicking into, and Sherman will start on their 25, but if you're the Lobos, you'll settle for that.
All right, well, Lobo defense has given up a couple of touchdowns. That's already a little unusual. Can't imagine that that's going to be a thing that makes the coaching staff terribly happy. John Barry and his group, Josh Rankin, Scott Hart, Brandon Bonds, Pat House, and Trevor Murphy take great pride in how this defense has played, and they have not given up much this year. Bearcats with a couple scores. They set up the screen, one-handed catch by Thompson, and he'll get himself to the 31-yard line, gain of 6.
Rare first down screen there, but it was well executed. They caught Longview coming. I don't know if Longview's been showing some run blitzes or what, but they certainly sucked the defensive line in. Thompson made a nice catch and big gain on first down.
Yeah, Simmons with another tackle. A 2nd down and about 4 at the 31-yard line. First catch for Caleb Thompson this evening. It's not a thing they use a whole lot. Back to pass, this one caught by Harris. He's hit in the backfield, and he's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage as he gets wrapped up at the 30-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5.
Little bubble screen out there. They had Thompson out there to block for him, but either way, the Longview defense smelled that one out early, and that's going to be 3rd and 5.
How about Omarion Wallace on the tackle? That's been more and more impressive watching Omari in the last couple of weeks. He had 5 tackles last week in the loss at Highland Park, as we were a little worried about Kylan Sublett, who got banged up the week before. Omarion stepped in and had a pretty good game last week. So 3rd down and 5 at the 30. 3 receivers to the top of the screen for the Bearcats. Back to pass, Phoenix Grant. Got time, tosses it off the hands of Harris, and it'll be 4th and 5.
Harris heard some footsteps and decided he did not want to participate, and so that one kind of looked away at the last second and let it go through his hands, and that's going to cause a second punt of the night for the Bearcats.
Yep, Ian Majubi coming in to punt. He'll stand at his 15-yard line. Willie Nelson going back deep at the 35. DeKalen Taylor's back there with him. 21-14, and this is not the way the Bearcats are going to keep themselves in this game. This is their second 3 and out. Punt by Majubi. This one with the wind behind him turns over. It'll come down to, and no fair catch called by Taylor at the 33-yard line. Avoids a couple and gets across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Gutsy return. And the Lobos will start at the 41.
What do you do if you mishandled a punt the last time you're out there?
Well, go do it again. Go get it.
Well, you didn't, and you made a great play. And no fair catch that time for Taylor. Sidestepped a couple of defenders, and nice return. And Lobos have an opportunity here for the first time tonight to stretch it out to 2 scores.
Yeah, risky return, but no risk, no reward, I guess. So it'll be first down, 41-yard line, almost the 42 for the Lobos. Back to pass, Jordan Allen looking deep. Going to air one that way, going against the wind, and Hale goes up and gets it and comes down with it at the 19-yard line. 2 defenders are down there with him, and he just split him and comes down with the ball.
Well, Parkins, that time J.D. Parker, Connor Clark, suffered through something we've seen other defenders this year have to deal with. Those hailstorms can mess you up, and that time, once again, we've seen a consistent play where Allen throws it up, oftentimes into double coverage, and number 8 goes and gets it.
41-yard reception for Jalen Hale on his first catch of the evening. He comes in 24 catches, 534 yards, 8 touchdowns. Pitch to Taylor. Taylor Tatum inside the 10 to the 6-yard line where it's another first down, and it'll be 1st and goal for the Lobos.
Taylor does a really good job of seeing the running lane as it develops. That time he saw that it was going to be to the inside. He turned it inside. Really good lead block that time by Victor Bush, who made that happen. I tell you what, Taylor Tatum unfortunately is going to walk off the field a little tenderly here as he heads to the sideline.
Yeah, a little bit gimpy. Trainer comes over and a coach comes over and looks at him, and I think he basically said, "I'm okay." So nobody spent a whole lot of time.
Probably some fatigue. He hadn't run this much in a while.
1st and goal at the 7. Jarrett Lewis gets the handoff. He's across the 5, burrowing into the 3-yard line for a gain of 4. It's 2nd and goal.
Tough yardage that time for Lewis. He's not the hammer. He's a guy who likes to find that little crease and turn on the speed, but that time he worked hard in between the tackles and down there inside the 10, that's what you need.
Taylor Tatum down 11 carries, 171 yards in this half.
Might need a break.
Yeah, a little bit. He earned a little set. Not long. 2nd down and goal at the 3 now.
Power I formation.
Now Lewis way back. He's back at the 13-yard line. They'll go fullback instead. Nope, it's going to be Allen keeping it. And he'll turn the corner but get drugged down at the 2-yard line. First one there to hit him is the safety, Josiah Banks, and it's 3rd down and goal.
Oh, 3-part option. You got an option to stick that thing in the belly of the fullback, or the quarterback can take it down the line and run it. Could have pitched it at the last second. That time quarterback kept it. Got a little more yardage, a little closer to that goal line. Yeah. And if you're John King here, you're hoping to get at least most of this and then give you an option to go for it on 4th down.
The other guy in on it tackles 5'7" junior corner Julian Nandon. All right, here we go. 3rd down and goal. It's Hale coming from left to right. Direct snap to Isaiah Harris. He's going to get in from 2 yards away, and the Lobos get another score with 3:24 to play in the first half to make it 27-14.
Well, they brought in Catravion McFarland, and he's the one that kicked the block out to allow the quarterback to get in. Nice call. We haven't seen that tonight. Showed a little zone read there on the underneath jet sweep to Hale, but really it was just kind of a quarterback draw.
Now Harris gets a brief celebration. He's got to go hold the ball. Here comes the snap. The hold. The kick by Fields is up and good. We'll make it a 28-14 lead. 3:24 left to play in the first half. Quick 30-second break. We're coming right back to game day.
At Godarzi and Young, we take things more seriously.
Every case that's handled at our office is handled by a team. That work and dedication has caused our office to recover more record verdicts and settlements than any other law firm in Northeast Texas.
It is our obligation to make sure our client has the financial backings and the manpower to be successful.
We are exactly who we say we are. We're trial lawyers who've gotten results year in, year out.
Lobos went 59 yards in 4 plays. A big play, the 41-yard reception by Jalen Hale for his first catch of the day, and it ends with an Isaiah Harris 2-yard touchdown run. Lobos have scored 4 on the ground in this first half, and they've had a 2-score lead. By the way, the underclassmen, big night last night, 55-0 for the freshmen, 57-0 for the JV.
Yikes.
Yeah. Let's do a quick math there. 112-0 over 2 games. Here's the kick from Fields. This one's going to be shy of the end zone at about the 5. Gathered in at the 7-yard line and not going to make it to the 20 is the return man. That's number 3, Chapman, Elijah Chapman.
Chapman's had a couple big plays tonight, but that time he's a little overmatched. Just turned his back to the kick coverage team and didn't get a whole lot out of that. Good job that time by kick coverage to hold them to little or nothing, and so they're going to start at about the 16-yard line.
Yeah, and and you almost wonder, as close as that was to the sideline, if maybe he had the option to try to let that go out of bounds, but well, you do that, and that's a risky move by itself. So it'll be a long field for the Bearcats. with 3:17 left in this first half. And remember, Longview won the toss and deferred, so they're going to get the ball to start the second half as well. Fast-moving first half. Phoenix Grant back in there at quarterback, hands off to his freshman tailback, and not much for Kane Bowen. In fact, backward. A loss of a yard, second down and 11. In on that tackle, Jeremiah Bragg has just come in.
Tell you what, big school 5A is a tough place for a freshman running back to cut his teeth. He's a little overmatched at times. He's got a square-built body, and he can take some punishment, but it's just tough to get your career going as a freshman against Longview.
Yep. Lobos have all their timeouts. In fact, both teams have. We said this is a fast-moving first half. We've only been playing about 49 minutes, and they're just about through this first half. 2:35 when we get ready to snap the ball. Grant going to roll to his left, looking down the field, looking, running out of turf, and he'll throw it out of bounds. And it'll bring up third down. He's stopping the clock for the Lobos with 2:27 left to play in the half.
Yeah, he rode left. He really had only one option downfield in front of him on the left side. Arias Jones had gone a little too deep back over here on the near side to be a true option. He would have really had to throw across his body to try to throw to him. So good job of the Lobos with safety help to take care of the receiver.
Yeah, this is a pretty important play for Sherman.
Yeah, you don't want to get the ball right back with a 3 and out.
Yeah, and then see Longview get it again to start the third. This one's going to be a first down run, though. Bowen barely gets there at the end of that as he dove forward just across the 26-yard line, and that avoids that problem.
Yeah, you knew they were going to probably run the ball. They want to stop the clock again themselves. And so they ran it, and the freshman showed that time he's ready for the big stage.
Yep. Kane Bowen with a 12-yard gain on third down and 10. Clock stops for a minute while they reset the chains, and now again, Phoenix Grant looking to that sideline.
No 2-minute warning in high school. Clock just keeps running.
Nelson right up in on the coverage. Pass rush coming, ball's loose. Rugley got there and got him. And we'll see if it's the Lobos that got it. It was. I didn't see who came out of the pile. 55, I think, may have come out of the pile, which is Zarius Shepard, who's had a huge couple of weeks. But Rugley again on the pass rushes. We'll watch the replay. Coming around the corner, he gets there, and Shepard looks like he's the guy that fell on the ball. And the Lobos will get it at the 20-yard line. Well, that's even better than forcing a punt.
Sure, that's short field now for the Lobos with 1:50. If you're John King, what you want to do here is milk this clock on down. You don't want to leave any time on the clock, and you want to get 7 points.
Rugley now with the sack. That was his 5th of the season. He leads the team as he moved back in front of Caden Brooks. First down handoff, Lewis, and a couple to the 17-yard line. It'll be second down and 7.
As I said, they want to run this thing down a little bit. That's Tatum back in there.
Tatum's
actually.
back in. Oh, excuse me.
But, yeah, you want to make sure down to 1:30 here that you don't leave any time on the clock. You can let it get down into 30 seconds and start using those timeouts.
All right, well, second down and 7. After Tatum, back to pass. Allen looking. Little double move thrown to the end zone. Up an easy catch. Hale. Touchdown Lobos, 34-14, and for Jalen Hale, he just moved into a tie with Camden Perry for the #1 spot in the school's touchdown reception history. There is a flag down at the 1-yard line, but it's on the defense.
Pass interference.
Right.
He grabbed him, but leave about 1:10 on there, but once again, Hale just makes an outstanding play. Kind of had to throw the brakes on, just go up and get it, and that's one of the reasons the pass interference occurred.
Fields, who's been a busy young man, goes back out there. Point after try, number 5 is up and good. 35-14 Lobos, 1:10 left to play in the first half. We're going to take a break. We'll come right back.
Don't fumble when you're looking for your next trailer. At R&J Trailers, we got the hookup. Cargo Mate, Hallmark, Text Line, Diamond C. We've got the inventory selection to get you into the end zone. Snap into savings with R&J Trailers. Don't pass up on the best deals around. R&J Trailers in Longview and online at rnjtrailers.com. we've got the hookup.
All right. Jalen Hale just managed to move away from Jalen Brown, who he'd been tied with at 22 touchdowns for the number 2 spot. Jalen has moved up to the number 1 spot now, tied with Camden Perry. The next touchdown, he moves into rarefied air, never seen in Longview, which would be his 24th career touchdown reception. He just caught his 9th of the year.
Not bad for a junior.
Yeah. Not bad at all. Michael Fields on again after they convert the turnover into 7 points. This one a shorter kick to the 11, and that one's fair caught. And they'll bring it out to the 25-yard line as
I think that was a conversation Coach Kane had with Chapman. That time he reminded him, you can call that fair catch, and they just put that ball on the 25. On the previous return, he didn't call a fair catch and instead chose to try to return it and ended up with bad field position.
So Jalen Hale started this year with the thought of maybe he could take a run at the record. Well, we still got 2.5 games in the regular season to go. He's got 9 on this year and 23 in the career, and he's still got a senior year and 2.5 left in this one, not counting whatever playoff games may be coming.
Kind of since Sherman just wants to run this thing out and get to the half.
Yeah, I'll give it to Thompson.
As long as he's going to use his timeouts.
Oh, man. All right. We'll get the ball back again then. A couple yards for Thompson. 2nd down and 8 coming up. And with 1:02 left, John King's take his first time out.
Well, what do you expect to happen here? If they can stop them short again, then they'll probably call another timeout. But it'll be interesting to see, will the guys from Sherman be willing to pass the football here? You're always afraid if you pass the football, you're going to stop the clock. And you don't want to let them save a timeout. So probably figure they're going to continue to run the football and force Longview to use all 3 timeouts.
Longview with a 295-yard first half compared to 164 for Sherman. And remember, this game started with Sherman going down the field and scoring on their first possession. It's been a 35-7 margin ever since that first touchdown.
Yeah, we may have a delay here. Unfortunately, we've got a Sherman player down. Daniel Clark, one of the offensive linemen, is down over. He's off the field, but he's so close that they're not going to be able to run a play. The trainers for Sherman are attending to him right now, so we may be a couple of minutes before we return to play here.
Yeah. In fact, it's a center is who it is, because they got a new center, it looks like, warming up to toss a couple back to Phoenix Grant just to make sure that he's ready to roll.
Yeah, he's going to they've got him up now, and so looks like we'll be able to return to play. But good news is he's moving around. They checked his knee, but he seems to be moving okay.
All right, so Kason Du Bois comes in as the center. All right, 2nd down and 8 for the Bearcats. Ball's at the 28-yard line. High snap. Well, a new center comes in, throws a high snap up there. Stumbling forward for a couple out to the 29-yard line is Thompson, and it'll be 3rd down, and the Lobos will take the 2nd time out.
Sure, and as I said, if they continue to run it, John King's going to spend his timeouts. If they try to throw it and are incomplete, he'll get to save one after the punt.
So there's still 58 seconds on the clock. Some other stuff going on this week. Cross country finished off the district season with a district meet this week in Hallsville. Young Lobo cross country team. A lot of sophomores on this thing. I think freshmen as well. They finished 5th at district. They had a 3rd place runner that couldn't make the meet because of a family thing, and it kind of cost them some points, but very, very optimistic about next year for the cross country team.
How'd volleyball do this week? Waiting on a phone call?
We're waiting to hear about tonight's match. They're at Texas High tonight, but had a good Tuesday night, beating Mount Pleasant in 3. Tennis won on Monday, and I didn't see yesterday the results of the area match. They were against, I can't remember if it was Ennis or Crandall they had in the area round, but I did not get results from that one. But they had a good Monday. They won the by-district playoff 10-0. All right, 3rd down, 6. Phoenix Grant rolling left and fighting his way, and he will not get to the sticks. He's at the 34-yard line, so it's 4th down and a yard. and we'll stop the clock again with 51 seconds left.
Hey, while we're doing that, let us remind everybody the first annual Leon Romines Golf Tournament presented by Texas Bank and Trust. Going to raise some money for the basketball program, and everybody here knows Coach Leon Romines. He retired in '96 after 32 years of coaching basketball. Had a lifetime record of 720 wins, 312 losses, and Leroy cared a lot about his players and had a successful run here at Longview High School. So honoring him with a tournament. If you want to play in that, you can call Andy Van Berko, 903-238-3512. Rex Scoggins, 903-452-9385. Mark Watson, 903-241-8789. And it's a really good deal. $200 gets you 2 teams, 3 signs. Or excuse me, that's $2,000. Let me get that right. If you want a tournament sponsor.
I was saying for $200, I'm there.
Yeah, that's tournament sponsors. I'm giving you bad information there, but it's a pretty good deal. We're going to talk some more about this tonight. But
we had a chance to meet one of the players.
Yeah, players and coaches both tonight.
Well, Kendrell Mitchell's the guy who really came around hawking the brochure and the information. And he's a great young man. Coach Newton, the basketball coach. All right, 4th down. Grant going to keep this one, and he is going to be shoved out of bounds well short of the line to get, which was the 35-yard line. Lobos are going to get the ball back with 44 seconds left to play.
Yeah, that was an aggressive decision by Coach Kane. Felt like he couldn't turn the ball back over to Longview via the punt. But when you don't have your starting center in there, you've already had one bad snap. That's a little dicey, and so they pay the price. Unfortunately, for Phoenix, Grant never had an opportunity. He was so thrown off by having to go get the high snap.
So with 44 seconds to go in the half, Longview at the 33-yard line. Allen back to pass, got pressure, spins away. He's going to probably step out of bounds, and he does at about the 30-yard line. So gain 3, stop the clock with 38 seconds, and it's 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, that time anticipating a pass with no timeouts and just over 40 seconds to go, the Sherman DC decided to send everybody just about, and looks like Tatum's checking back in. They may try to get Tatum the ball in space like we saw earlier.
2nd down and 7. 38 seconds left to play in the half. 35-14, and Longview's wanting some more. Right split out near side. He's at the bottom of the screen. Back to pass. Allen rolling to his left. Got Wright standing on the sideline all alone. He'll catch it, get as far as he can to about the 14-yard line. That's where he'll step out of bounds. It'll be a 1st down with 31 seconds left.
Nice looking action play that time. Showed they were going to hand the ball to Tatum. You got to consider it with the first half he's had. Looks like big number 67, Blair Williams, lost his helmet. He's going to have to come to the sideline in a crucial play. But did a nice job of using Tatum as a decoy, look downfield, find Wright. Tell you what, when they put Hale in that slot, he can do a lot of fun things over there.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's terrifying the defense when they see him over there.
Well, yeah, he took both defenders basically downfield with him that time.
We saw Highland Park send 4 defenders with him last week on the play.
He's alone on the far side this time.
Man coverage over there, too. No safety on that side. The safety comes the other way. Handoff, reverse. It's Tatum who's going to throw back. He's got the quarterback, Allen, who dropped it. He was backpedaling. He probably was going to get hit at about the 2-yard line, but he dropped the ball. And so the gadget play was all there except the final execution, and it'll be 2nd down and 10.
And the worst part of that now is Allen loses all his street cred with his receivers. If you're a receiver and you come back into the huddle after dropping one this year, what's Allen going to say?
Nothing. You say nothing.
He can't chastise his receivers for dropping anything now.
The great play. Had it set up perfectly.
Oh, yeah, looked great.
Just couldn't hang on. All right, 2nd down. Allen back to his role, throwing the football. Got a man a little bit behind Wright at the goal line. And it'll be 3rd down and 3rd down and 10.
And once again, Allen can say nothing.
No. Well, the pass was a little bit behind Wright. That would have been a pretty impressive catch, as Wright was having to reach back really into the face of the defender. And so it becomes 3rd down and 10. Allen on the afternoon throwing the football so far. 5 of 7, 101 yards and a touchdown.
Kind of limited here if you're Longview. If you run it, it's going to be awful tough to get that field goal unit out there without any timeouts.
There's 20 seconds left on the clock. So on 3rd down and 10, 3 receivers right, Allen back to pass. Looks. He's in trouble, grabbed, and down he goes back at the 17-yard line. It's your worst thing he can have happen because now the Lobos are going to try to run out a kick team for a field goal with 6 seconds, 5 seconds. I got to get everybody off the field. They do that in time. Let's see if they can get the snap up, and they don't. They never got the ball snapped.
Well, the officials basically told them they couldn't go until all the substitutions were completed. That's that old substitution rule that came in a few years ago, and we talked about it before the play. You just couldn't run the ball. You had to get rid of it.
So they get no points out of the end of that, but they will get the ball to start the second half, so it's not all bad. 35-14 is the score. The Lobos, who got down early 7-0, ran up on the Bearcats for the rest of the half, and they go in with a 3-touchdown lead. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come right back to game day.
Howdy, East Texas. Neil McCoy here for Patterson Nissan in Longview, home of the free lifetime warranty. Shopping for a pre-owned vehicle has never been easier. Just head over to PattersonCars.com and you'll find over 1,400 quality pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, many certified pre-owned and backed by the Patterson Lifetime Warranty. And you can buy with confidence because each one has to pass a 167-point inspection before it's listed for sale. Log on and find your new-to-you pre-owned car, truck, or SUV at PattersonCars.com.
Over the last 10 years, our office has achieved many record verdicts and settlements. Our commitment has always been to outwork and outfight any opponent we have in whatever courtroom we find ourselves in.
At Godarzi and Young, we have settlements and verdicts that are unmatched. Whether you come face to face with the corporation or the insurance company, they know that if they don't justly compensate our clients, they're going to have to face the Godarzi and Young trial team in the courtroom.
Well, an intriguing first half. For a minute, you kind of went, as the first drive for the Bearcats gave them a 7-0 lead. But after that, it was all Longview as the Lobos scored 14 in the first, 21 in the second. They put up a whopping 311 yards of offense in that first half compared to 170 for the Bearcats. 101 on the through the air, 210 on the ground on 20 carries as they average better than 10 yards a carry. Just an impressive first half offensively for Longview.
Tell you what, Coach Kane is unhappy about something. That's one of the longest halftime conversations I've ever seen. It reminded me of the y'all Alta Conference.
Really?
Yeah, y'all ought to be calling more.
Yeah.
That was a long discussion he had with this officiating crew, and the officials sat there and listened to a lot of it before they eventually headed to the dressing room.
Yeah, moved him on his way. Here's how the scoring went in the first half. Sherman got on the board first, a 59-yard reception. Elijah Chapman to make it a 7-0 lead. Taylor Tatum got his first of 3 first-half touchdowns from 2-yard away to tie the game up. And then he got another one from 18 yards away to end the first quarter, 14-3 Longview. Phoenix Grant tied it up with a 2-yard run himself to make it 14-all in the second quarter. And then Taylor Tatum with his 3rd touchdown of the half from 21 yards away, 21-14 Longview lead. They'll add to that when Isaiah Harris goes in from 2 yards away to make it 28-14. And Jalen Hale gets his 23rd career touchdown reception, 17 yards away from Jordan Allen to make the score at the half 35-14.
Most importantly, clean half of football. Very little in the way of penalties, no turnovers, and a great job by the Lobos to not shoot themselves in the foot in that half.
Yeah, the only turnover was a fumble by the Bearcats that resulted in 7 points for Longview, but Lobos, no turnovers in the first half, and I think 1 penalty?
Yeah, I remember one on a kickoff.
On the kickoff, that was it. Rest of it clean. After seeing 13 for 110 yards last week, you got to be very happy if you're the coaches to see none of those mental mistakes. Now, you got 24 minutes of focus in. Can you get 24 more is going to be really what John King's going to say. I want to see a complete ball game. I want to see you go out there and, again, focus the whole way through this thing. And then a bunch of guys are going to get a chance to play some football tonight.
You're getting to see the Sherman band. We're going to have in just a moment. Morgan Smith and his cohorts down on the field again once again. We appreciate you joining us on game day this week, and want to share that with all your friends and let everybody know we've got Longview football right here on Longview game day.
Yes, we tell you all the time, share, and share again. Make sure that folks get a chance to know what's going on. Other scores in the district tonight right now. Highland Park is up in the second quarter over McKinney North, 42-17, and Tyler blowing out Wiley East 34-3. So the favorites you expected have big leads going into the locker room at halftime. Everybody's kind of holding serve, and it looks as though we're going to go to week number 9 with the same 4 or 5 suspects in a pretty good place for their playoff spots.
Hey, we want to remind everybody the Leon Romines Golf Tournament just a couple of weeks away, Saturday, October 30th, 1 p.m. shotgun start. Sign in 12 to 12:30, 12:45 meeting at the Pavilion. It's going to be at the Wood Hollow Golf Course, McCain Road here in Longview. It supports Longview High School boys basketball. It's the first time they've done this. You want to participate in that and really have the opportunity to pay a tribute to Coach Leon Romines for his many years of service of coaching basketball here in Longview.
We remind you the first half was a Taylor Tatum half. 12 carries, 174 yards, and 3 touchdowns to lead the way. For Jordan Allen, pretty good half as well, 5 of 7. He missed on his first pass, he missed on his last pass, and he missed a pass that he should have caught. 5 of 7, 101 yards, and a touchdown as the Lobo offense was effective on both the ground and through the air so far.
Good half of football for the Lobos. We'll want to come out and follow it up with a good second half as well. As looks like we're getting ready. Looks like everybody's down on the desk and ready to go. And we ready to send it to them? A few more minutes there.
More minutes.
More minutes.
Okay,
right.
well, I'll tell you what. Next week, it's bye week for Longview, so we won't have a game for you guys next Friday. We'll be back in basically 2 weeks from yesterday because we're back to the Thursday schedule, heading to McKinney North on the 28th, and then we wrap up the season back here in Longview, taking on Tyler. The season finale, probably a game that may decide who's number 2 in this district.
Could very well.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll send you down to the field in just a couple of minutes with Morgan and the gang. It's 35-14. We're at the half here on Longview Game Day.
Drum major, is your band ready?
Bluetooth pairing. Sherman connected.
one more time for the Sherman High School Marching Band.
Welcome back. It's halftime here at Lobo Nation here in Longview, Texas. I don't know why I called it Lobo Nation. Lobos are up big, 35-14.
35-14. It's actually been a higher scoring game than I thought it would be.
You know, I do a lot of like filming behind the lens, and it doesn't feel like a 35-14 game to me. It really doesn't. And then, you know, with Sherman jumping out right off the bat with that big touchdown, Longview answering, and then the same thing happening again. It's kind of flown by. It just doesn't feel like a 35-14 game.
It's actually been a fun game. You know, Longview's had a few breakdowns defensively in the backfield, but Sherman is not going to stop their running game. I mean,
Taylor Tatum is going off. Jarrett Lewis. I've been all about some Jarrett Lewis the last few weeks. Dude's been balling. Taylor Tatum is that dude, though.
Oh, yeah.
He took over tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
3 touchdowns already with over 160 yards.
160 yards.
Longview's always going to have some running backs.
Oh, yeah.
You're always going to have some running backs.
Not one, but
Jalen Hale got him a touchdown down here. I was told next touchdown breaks the record.
Yes.
And we want to let everybody know, hey, we're not showing the band tonight at the request of the band director. They're getting ready for a big competition, and they don't want that to affect their final score because people may see it before they're going to be judging it. So we're obviously going to not do that, but let's get some area scores.
Oh.
One of them I'm not excited about reporting. It's not going the way I said it was going to.
Drag me down.
It's not over yet, though.
But Big Sandy's up on Union Grove 6-0 at halftime. Very low scoring game.
Very
Yeah.
low.
Normally the smaller schools put up more points.
Mhm.
It seems like it anyway.
That's one of Coach Traylor's first coaching jobs up there in Big Sandy.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
This can't be right. I mean, it just can't be. 70-0. Union Hill over somebody up Savoy.
Mine. We know Savoy.
Where's Savoy at? How do y'all always know where these places are?
Because when your father coaches at little school Detroit, Texas,
you get to know those places.
I know where Detroit is.
Yeah.
Detroit.
Detroit.
You don't say
Something about
Detroit.
Paris.
No, it's not Detroit. It's Detroit.
Where's Detroit at?
And
By
it is
Paris.
between Paris and Clarksville.
When did y'all live there?
We lived there when I was 4th through 6th grade.
Holy.
I know.
And we played
We've
in
been
Savoy,
everywhere.
and I can't tell you where it's at, but I can tell you that their football stadium is right next to some cows.
Hey,
There is a pasture right next
It's
to it.
very forgetable.
did the football season go better there than it did?
It did. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
It was a
Yes.
winning.
I will say, my dad did have a winning career overall.
Yeah, I was about to say, y'all. Like,
Sabine
he's one of the
was
best coaches I ever had.
Sabine was the.
It wasn't me.
Was he your coach?
You know.
Oh, yeah. Hey, the worst I've ever been talked to was by their dad. This is no joke. I told him this. I can still hear it right now. I remember where I was standing on Jefferson football field, and I was really tired. I like, hey, go in for me on kickoff. Well, they ran the kickoff back, and all I hear is, smell. And I'm just like, oh, my God.
Well, you know how, Keaton, you were talking about how Coach King would chew someone out, but then he's quickly to tell you how much he loves it. That's exactly how my dad coached.
But he is a little loud.
Yeah, he'll chew you out, but he'll tell you how much he loves you at the same time.
You gotta love and hate that tough love at the same time.
Oh, yeah. I love Coach King, man. It's,
Oh, yeah.
it's wild. Texas High's up on Pine Tree 17-0 at halftime.
It's closer than I thought.
I do expect Pine Tree to score at least once in the second half. I do think they're going to put up, but you were talking about how
The defense, I mean,
that defense is for Texas High.
I don't quote me on this, but if Texas High pitches a shutout, which they're going to put their second team in, start of the fourth quarter. That's what they've been doing. This has been the third year in a row they shut Pine Tree out.
I thought Pine Tree would score on them a few times. I did.
I mean, it's halftime. Texas High is the clear and sole leader in that district.
Yes.
They're going to be very tough to beat. We'll see what Pine Tree does second half. Pleasant Grove at halftime's up on North Lamar 37-0.
No shock
nothing
there.
This is a big time shock for me. Spring Hill's up on Liberty Islo at halftime.
Yes.
15-6.
I'm surprised.
I am more than
That
surprised.
put a smile on your face, right?
I got a text at one point that Spring Hill went for 2, and Liberty Islo had 5 players on the field.
Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh.
So I don't know if there's 5 players. There's got to be more to this.
Yeah.
Something is going on.
What happened there?
Yeah, like something happened.
Yeah.
You don't like. I don't want to say what I think, but something is going on for there to only be 5 players on the field.
Yeah, I don't know.
For a play. They've been playing football like they know they're supposed to be out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I really, really, really surprised by that. But I just looked down. I'm even more surprised at this. Oh my gosh, Tony, Atlanta is up on Tatum.
Oh, really?
Up 20-16.
Sure are. Yeah.
Tatum is ranked number 9 in the state. Atlanta has not won a game this season, and not just being honest, they haven't even came close to winning a game.
Yeah.
So
you got to be happy for Atlanta, though. I mean, even if it don't turn out that, I mean, they're hanging with them.
And with all the craziness going on, decap's down to Pewitt.
I told you.
You know, you told me you don't know anything about Pewitt. Don't be out here telling me you told me. You were just guessing.
What's the score?
Here's the deal. She had heard of Pewitt. She ain't ever heard of decap. That's what it was.
I have heard of decap. I want it for the record.
I'm actually surprised by that, though. I mean, I am.
A lot of really, really surprising scores here. Like I'm really surprised by this decap. 20-7.
I'm surprised by the Gilmer-Pittsburgh score.
Yeah.
I hadn't even made it that far.
Gilmer's up 16-7.
I don't have Gilmer as one of my teams. That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
I don't get one. What was the
They're
score?
too good for that. 16-7.
16-7 on who?
Pittsburgh. And yeah, that's a little
I can see that. I'm telling you, Pittsburgh will run every second they can. Pittsburgh's hard to blow out because they're just when they get the ball, they're going to keep the ball, and they're going to take it down to a second every time. Doesn't surprise. I mean, I guess it does surprise me a little bit, but I bet you Gilmer's probably only had 2 or 3 possessions.
Yeah,
I
probably.
Guaranteed.
That are a lot of turnovers. One of the two.
We invite you to come
Man,
and support
you know the thing with this like app and people updating scores, when I see something crazy, I always have to question, hey, is this true or not?
You're looking at the Highland score.
Wascom's up on Coin City, 56-0 at halftime.
Ooh.
Allegedly.
Wow.
That's scoring every time you have the ball and then some.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gladewater's up on Jefferson 20-6.
Man,
wow.
Y'all still keep up with Coach LeVere? Y'all talk to him any?
No, I haven't. Not in a while.
Not in probably a year
I like the way
or
y'all
so.
think. He knocked us out of the playoffs when we were there. Remember?
I'm still a little salty.
Yeah, we are still a little salty.
A little salty
We will
with y'all
never.
too. When Springhill hired him, I was like, what are they doing?
I
know he's a great. I know he's a great coach.
He is. He's
But-
very good.
He's a nice guy, but there's still, you knocked us out of the playoffs.
Yeah. But you know, Gladewater came out ranked number 2 in the state in their division. Played Gilmer right off the bat, which you know Gilmer's a tough football team, but they should be healthy now. What was the score again?
It's
20-6.
On Jefferson.
You got what?
Yeah, I got 27-6.
27-6. Okay.
under the field
Mine hasn't updated yet.
Dangerfield's up on Redwater, 34-0 at halftime. Redwater's down starting quarterback, starting wide receiver, who moved to quarterback. I don't even know who's playing quarterback for them right now.
I don't either. And you know, them small schools don't have a whole lot of depth. So when you lose your first string player, it's hard to replace them, especially at a position that important.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Kilgore's up on Chapel Hill, though.
That's good.
21-6.
Shout out to my man, Coach Fuller, one of my good friends.
Kilgore's ranked number 6 right now. They've been
Kilgore is?
football, yeah.
Yeah, hey, Coach Fuller's a real deal. He's a good coach.
Yeah.
Really good coach. Kilgore's super lucky to have gotten him because he had other offers, and Kilgore was the spot he landed.
Mesquite Horns up on Legacy, 20-14 right now.
I'm very surprised by that.
That's another shocking score.
You know, but Legacy's, they've been a second half team almost all year.
Yeah.
They played some games they can't win, but in the games, and I say they can't win, they're not supposed to win. But the games that they're in, it's been a second half kind of thing.
Yeah, I never seen this coming from this score. I expected them to win big this game.
Did we already say Tyler and Wiley East?
Nope.
Tyler's 34-3 against Wiley East. There's no shock there.
Hey, Tyler's playing some real good ball.
They really are.
They're playing some real good ball. I think they're undefeated right now in district still.
Mm-hmm.
So I just got a random text, has nothing to do with football. But Damian Collins is a kid we've covered since game day started, 2.5 years ago. And they're having the blue-white game the night before the blue-white game tonight, or maybe it is tonight. But anyway, they do a dunk contest. And at the pro day, Damian had a 45-inch vertical, which a lot of people are saying it looked more like 47 because he was over.
Wow.
He just scored a perfect 10 on all 3 of his dunks in the dunk contest.
Oh,
ESPN
wow.
just sent that over.
That is awesome.
He jumped over a 6'9" guy. He's 6'10". Isn't that nuts?
Yeah, it is crazy.
He came and played at Longview against Tatum in a playoff game. Worst officiated game I've ever seen.
Tatum actually
fouled
won
out that game.
Tatum, they won that game, yeah.
But I heard the same thing from everybody that went. Said it was horribly officiated.
Yeah. Anyway, let's do this. Let's send it back upstairs to Chuck and Tony. Appreciate you watching. Enjoy the second half.
Lobos.
Howdy, East Texas. Neil McCoy here for Patterson Nissan in Longview, home of the free lifetime warranty. Shopping for a pre-owned vehicle has never been easier. Just head over to PattersonCars.com and you'll find over 1,400 quality pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, many certified pre-owned and backed by the Patterson Lifetime Warranty. And you can buy with confidence because each one has to pass a 167-point inspection before it's listed for sale. Log on and find your new-to-you pre-owned car, truck, or SUV at PattersonCars.com.
students and directors of the Lobo Band, our parents, community members, and LISD for their continued support this season. We would also like to thank our sponsors for this year. ABC Auto, Central Title Company of Longview, Easy Texano y Agamos, Pharmacy by Josephina Amador, Hallworth Law Firm, JBL Enterprises, Jodak Office Outfitters, and Peters Chevrolet, Buick Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, and Fayette of Longview. Thank you for your kind attention to tonight's performance, and go Lobos!
Eastman Credit Union is here to serve the Longview community.
All righty, well, we're breaking down the halftime stuff. We appreciate you staying with us during halftime for Morgan and the crew. I know if you're a Longview band fan, you're still a little unhappy that we're not getting the band on there for you. We're coming to the end of the competition season. Once we get past that, then the band will be able to be shown. We've put up there constantly the notice from the band director. They have requested we not show the band, and as much as we would like to make you folks happy, we want to make sure the band director's happy. We've been close to band directors in the past.
Yeah, we don't want to get on the wrong side.
No. So as much as we love you guys, and I know you want to see the band directors' requirements or requests trump everybody else's, and so we apologize you don't get to see them. I promise you, when we get them past their competition, if the Lobos are still playing in the playoffs, you're going to see the band.
And we want to remind you, I think they've got a marching competition here at the stadium tomorrow.
Yes, they do.
And they made the announcement before the game. If you happen to be in the stadium consuming us this evening via your phone, they're asking everybody pick their trash up tonight.
Yes.
For the competition tomorrow. So just a heads up to you if you're sitting in the stands to remind your fellow patrons this evening to pick up your trash on the way out. As Sherman is teeing it up, and they're getting ready to kick off the second half here. As looks like Dane Castleberry, the junior kicker, will prepare as Taylor and Willie Nelson are back.
All right. Well, we are indeed going to start half number 2. Sherman to kick things off. Lobos with the 35-14 lead. About everything that could go right went right for Longview in the first half. And we can finish this thing off. Here's the kickoff from Castleberry. This is going to go into the end zone with that big win behind him. And how about taking it out? Marion Hamilton's going to bring it out of the end zone. If he can get a lane, he's got the 15, the 20, and will get taken down, well, right on the 25, of course, which is where it would have been if he downed it.
I misidentified him as Taylor, but it was Hamilton instead, and he showed that this was his time, and he took a shot.
So the Lobos will start at the 25-yard line. Let's reset Longview's offense for you. We've had a little bit of injuries. Blair Williams we saw go out. We'll see if he's back in there, but the starting lineup we were given: DeKalen Vaughn, Christian Arnett, Tavion Morgan, Blair Williams, and Jax Norman with the offensive line. Victor Bush, the tight end. Jartaven Wright, Amarian Hamilton, Jalen Hale, DeKalen Taylor playing receiver on first down. How about a pass to Hamilton? Caught at the 32 and across the 40 to the 43-yard line for a pickup of 18 and a first down. That pass from starting quarterback Jordan Allen in the backfield with him. Isaiah Harris is the fullback, and we've seen Jarrett Lewis and Taylor Tatum splitting time in the backfield.
You can tackle from behind if you get him by the tailbone pad.
Yeah.
You can't get him by the shoulder there.
No, not up
That
in
wasn't a horse collar. That was a donkey tackle.
There's a donkey?
Yes, it's another word for something else.
Donkey. Burro. Mule.
Something backside.
Okay. First down. Handoff. How about Taylor Tatum? Let's get some more. 50. 45, and down to the 41-yard line as he rumbles his way for another 16 yards.
Welcome back to Taylor Tatum night here at Lobo Stadium as he's on fire tonight. Had a great first half. We talked about the fact that first start in a month, and he's taking full advantage of it. He's going to check out for a moment, but he's looked awful good tonight.
13 carries, 190 yards, and 3 scores, and we have just gotten the first minute of the third quarter over with. First down at the 41-yard line. Jarrett Lewis will check in. They'll split 3 receivers left, will the Lobos. Allen back to pass. He's got Taylor, catches it at the 43 and gets down the sideline. He's got the 25, a cut at the 20, breaks a tackle at the 10 and into the end zone. For the touchdown goes to Kalen Taylor. He had 1 catch last week, 55 yards. He's got 1 here tonight for 41 and a touchdown. And the Lobos take 1:08 to score on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Yeah, when he gets home tonight, his mom's going to suggest he send thank you cards to Hale and Wright. Both the other receivers did a great job of blocking, making sure he had that opportunity, and he took full advantage of it.
Well, that didn't take long at all. Point up by Michael Fields, 42-14, 1:08 into this second half. We'll take a break. We're coming right back on Longview Game Day.
Don't fumble when you're looking for your next trailer. At R&J Trailers, we got the hookup. Cargo Mate, Hallmark, Text Line, Diamond Seed. We've got the inventory selection to get you into the end zone. Snap into savings with R&J Trailers. Don't pass up on the best deals around. R&J Trailers in Longview and online at rnjtrailers.com. We've got the hookup.
All right, a little laundry on the field on the point after try, and while you guys were gone for the break, we were told by the official unsportsmanlike conduct on the Lobos. So it's going to be a little deeper kickoff for Michael Fields, kicking into the wind. He'll kick off from the 25-yard line instead of the 40.
Yeah, they gave us the number 48, LaQuavian Jackson. We talked about it at halftime. Great first half, only the 1 penalty. Unfortunately, you don't need an unsportsmanlike conduct on an extra point effort. That's going to make for a long field to cover with your kick coverage, unfortunately.
And probably a long amount of running Monday morning.
It may be. I don't know
how
Coach King deals with that sort of thing, but no one is in favor of that. And unfortunately, a great moment, a opening second half drive is kind of dampened a little bit by that.
All right, so Fields will kick off from the 25-yard line. Winds gusting at about 15, 16 miles an hour. We got the flag that is billowing outward at the moment, so we still got that pretty good wind, and it is blowing from left to right on the screen, so into Michael Fields' face for the most part.
It's almost like a kick after a safety.
Yeah, and here comes the kick, and this one, he line drives it, hits at the 20, and is going to bounce and stay in the field of play all the way down to the 3-yard line. Finally picked up by Chapman, and how about that at the 7-yard line? It was a great kick by Fields as it ripped its way through the middle of the Bearcat kick return team, and Chapman kept waiting for it to go out of bounds, and it just wouldn't do it. And so it'll be the 7-yard line where the Lobos will go back on defense for the first time in this half.
I think you recommended that to him earlier in the first half, that he wait for one to go out of bounds.
Yeah.
Maybe why you don't do that, I don't know. But
got to bring up that all the time, huh?
Well, I was just going to mention it, but either way, Chapman's had a couple of moments on kickoff returns tonight that haven't worked out for him.
All right, Lobos on defense, Billy Smith, Leonard Epps, Jesse Fairchild starters. Look for a lot of DK Stanford and Zarius Shepard. First down handoff. That is Caleb Thompson, the tailback, who makes his way to the 9-yard line for a gain of 2. Second down and 8 coming up. The rest of the defense, Jeremiah Rugley, Devin Isaac, Caden Brooks, Tadarian Boone are the linebackers. Willie Nelson and Jaden Simmons are the corners. Chase Smith, Kylan Sublett are the safeties.
We were part of an interesting we were listening to an interesting conversation about Rugley's pronunciation.
Yes. Am I doing it right?
No.
Rugley?
No, it sounded more French.
Oh. Rugley?
Something like that. But the PA guy said he's been doing it wrong for 2 years, so who are we to question?
Yeah, we're going to go with Rugley or Rugelay. Either way, second down and 8. Phoenix Grant with a pass little bit short of the first down as Elijah Chapman goes down and gets it at about the 17-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down and a yard, make it 2 yards as they mark him down back at the 16-yard line.
And just in case Jeremiah's family listen, we were told Rougelet.
Okay, well, then you got that.
Told you French.
Rougelet. 3rd down and 2. Phoenix Grant is the quarterback for the Bearcats. The junior, they're a little rough first half. He's rolling this time, trying to get the first himself, and it looks like he does at about the 18-yard line. Steps out right at the marker. In fact, a yard ahead of the marker. So a first down for the Bearcats as they get ready to move the chains and keep the ball. 9:28 left to play in the 3rd quarter. 42-14. Lobos with the lead.
Looks like they've still got the backup center in there, but he's doing a little better job here to start the half.
On first down, Grant has Caleb Thompson in the backfield. J.D. Parker, Aries Jones, Vontrell Sanders, Elijah Chapman are his receivers. Have not gotten to call them very much tonight. Grant on first down, play action, over the top's got Chapman, catches it, drops it. Boy, got hit right as the ball got there. Chase Smith with the big hit at the 40-yard line. Chapman can't hang on to it. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Chapman's had an up and down night. He's had a couple of big plays tonight, and he's had some plays that he will look back on, and the film will show that he had some bad moments.
Well, I'll tell you what, Chase Smith helped to make that a bad moment. That was a really timely hit.
Chase Smith.
So 3rd down up and coming now. Excuse me, 2nd down. 2nd down and 10.
Grant continues to look to the sideline for the play.
Grant throwing the football so far tonight, 8 of 14, 136 yards. Handoff, that's Thompson, and gets across the 20 to the 22-yard line. That's still 5 yards, almost 6 shy of the first down, so it'll be 3rd down and about 5.5 coming up.
Tell you what, we saw Thompson in some video highlights look very good, and he's looked good at times tonight, but Longview defense has done a pretty good job with him.
Devin Isaac.
They had a tough first series since then, and pretty darn good as this defense. 3rd down and 5.5, almost 6 coming up. And again, they're taking, for a team that's down by 4 scores, there's really no urgency here. They're just trying to execute the way they are coached to. And Rougelet and they're all over the quarterback. Grant's got to throw it and gets rid of it complete to the 28-yard line and bumped forward for the first down. I think that's the first catch for Vontrell Sanders tonight out of the 30-yard line, and they'll move the chains again.
I'm impressed. In live action, you got the name right.
Yeah, I got Rougelet that time.
Rougelet, I liked it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Rougelet almost got himself a 2nd sack. Instead, Sanders gets himself a completion and a first down, a gain of about 8. And this is a couple of first downs for the Bearcats here in this 3rd quarter. We're down to 8 minutes left in the quarter. Ball's on the 30, a long way away. They've had one big play, that first quarter touchdown. Everything else has been a struggle. Here comes the pressure again. They'll set up a screen. It's picked off. Intercepted at the 26-yard line, and down to the 10 is Omarion Watkins, the junior defensive tackle, who gets a defensive lineman's dream. An interception right to him at the 26. He returns it to the 10. It's 1st and goal. Lobos on the 10-yard line.
They had executed that play in the first half to Thompson. That time they went back to it, and that may have been just a circumstance where the big man Watkins had seen it, recognized it. And by the way, we're going to get a look at a guy we hadn't seen in a while. Joshua Thomas takes the field.
Yeah, I had said earlier he had been warming up, and sure enough, he's going to get a chance to get in there. First down and goal at the 10. Handoff to Isaiah Harris, the fullback. He's going to get his 2nd score of the day from 10 yards away, and the Lobos have a 48-14 lead.
You hear the horn and the howl. There's a lot to howl about tonight if you are a Longview Lobo fan, as they punch another one in here. Great start to the second half. A week ago, disastrous start to the second half for the Lobos on the road. Back home tonight, and they've got a chance to make this a 49-14 ball game.
It cures a lot of ills. They've gotten 2 turnovers tonight, has the defense, and they've converted both of them into touchdowns. Michael Fields, how about another point after try? That one good. It's number 7 on the night, 49-14. We'll take a break. Back in 30 here on Game Day.
Howdy, East Texas. Neil McCoy here for Patterson Nissan in Longview, home of the free lifetime warranty. Shopping for a pre-owned vehicle has never been easier. Just head over to PattersonCars.com and you'll find over 1,400 quality pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, many certified pre-owned and backed by the Patterson Lifetime Warranty. And you can buy with confidence because each one has to pass a 167-point inspection before it's listed for sale. Log on and find your new-to-you pre-owned car, truck, or SUV at PattersonCars.com.
All right, well, Josh Thomas got in the game long enough to hand off one time. Isaiah Harris with his second score of the day. That was easy. One play drive, 10 yards, less than 10 seconds, and the Lobos have a 14-0 quarter going.
Harris has looked good at times this year. He can play that fullback position. That time he was there behind the quarterback in the or beside him in the shotgun, more of a halfback position. Holds for the extra points. He does a lot of things to help this ball club. Good blocker when he's in the fullback position.
So with 7:44 to play in the third, the Lobos have stretched this to a very comfortable margin now, 35-point lead. They have outscored the Bearcats 49-7 since about 5 minutes into the game. Kickoff is going to come down to the 10. Will fair catch that? Will Elijah Chapman? It'll come out to the 25-yard line.
Once again, you kind of sense Chapman got coached up again over there on the sideline and makes a decision. One of the things we saw in the last possession for Sherman, milked a little more clock. Phoenix Grant was out there, was letting the play clock get inside of 10 seconds. If you wonder why I bring that up, when you're down 49-14, sometimes you just kind of say, don't give it away any worse than it is already.
Yeah, let's not get hurt. Let's get the clock running, and let's go back to Sherman. First down and 10. A little tighter formation this time for the Bearcats, who are used to running 4 receivers. This time they've only got 2, and here comes a flag as the play clock went all the way down to 0.
It's one thing when the coach says let the clock run. It's another thing when you don't get it off before.
Well, they're going to call it a false start. Apparently the clock went off after the fact. So they move them back 5 yards to make it 1st and 15.
Not many penalties on Sherman tonight.
On either team. Been a very clean game for the most part. Now we still got almost 20 minutes to screw that up, but so far it's been really good. The freshman gets the ball here on 1st and 15. That's Kane Bowen out across the 25 to about the 27-yard line. Pick up almost 6-7 yards, so it's 2nd down and 9.
Give him an opportunity to get back into the series after having the 5-yard penalty.
Devin Knight said, can Chase Smith come by and
got both backs in the backfield with him. This has been primarily a run formation, but we did see him hit Chapman on a long pass out of this formation in the first half.
A lot of Drake Mayfield in this game as well tonight. He's back there at safety. 2nd down and 9. Under 7 minutes left to play when they snap the ball. And here it comes to Phoenix Grant. Handoff again to Bowen. Same thing, just going to sweep left and look for some running room, and he'll back his way up to the 34-yard line, where it'll bring up 3rd down and 6.
See what, if you watch Chase Smith right before the snap, he saw something that made him read run all the way. He climbed up into the box there from his safety position and was right there where the play ran to.
That's a 3rd and 6 at the 29. Bearcats trying to get themselves a 1st down or 2, and as you said, keep away from the Lobos a little bit. 3rd down's going to be a handoff. That's going to be nowhere near the 1st down as the Lobos just swarm that. Rugeley was there first at about the 31-yard line with a gang, including Caden Brooks, making the tackle of Caleb Thompson. 4th down and 4 coming up.
Yeah, Rugeley turned it back into the inside where his helpers were, and they cleaned it up. And it's going to be a punt now for Sherman as Willie Nelson, and looks like Taylor go back for this one.
And as we have seen, expect them to return it. It doesn't matter where it is.
Both of them are reluctant to use the fair catch.
Yeah. Ian Majhubi in there for the punt. Number 31, low snap, gets it on the 1 bounce. That blocked it. They blocked it. Shepard blocked it, scooped up at the 20-yard line, and then lost the ball. Lobos lost the ball at the 10, and we'll see if that recovered by Sherman.
Watkins.
Watkins again. He's already got an interception. Shepard had the blocked punt, and it looks like Mashubi may have been the guy that recovered the fumble from Watkins. He's celebrating like he just won the game.
Well, Watkins didn't wake up this morning thinking he was going to get 2 touches in this game. He almost had an interception return. This time he's carrying it via Leroy Kelly, 1968, and the breadbasket turns loose on him. I tell you, he looks a little bit like the kid from Dallas who intercepts all the balls, Trayvon there.
Yeah, Diggs?
I think he's been watching Diggs return with the ball in his hand like that. So,
well, it was an impressive block by Shepard. A not so impressive return by Watkins, who had big eyes about maybe finally he had a pick that looked like pick 6. He couldn't get in the end zone. Had a chance on the blocked punt, couldn't do that as well. And so it's back to Sherman ball all the way back at the 9-yard line. They'll give it to Bowen. He'll gain about 8 up to the 17 to make it 2nd down and 2.
And the worst part of that is not that Sherman gets the ball, is that Watkins was probably this close from Coach King putting in a jumbo package next week for him, and you feel bad.
You think so,
do you? Big guy that he squandered his opportunity to get moved to the backfield.
Yeah. Well, okay with all of that. All of it leads us to being a 2nd down and 2. Crazy little sequence of events. Back to the ground to Bowen, and he's going to get hit for a loss. Back to the 16-yard line, where it's going to bring up 3rd down and 3.
Well, clock continues to run. We're down under 4:47 here in the 3rd. As this one, you kind of sense the Lobos came out on their first 2 series of the second half and put this one away.
Yeah. Okay. Somebody's
the,
extremely enthusiastic out there.
Family members are vocalizing their approval this evening.
3rd down and 3 at the 16. Phoenix Grant, who's not just been able to make a whole heck of a lot happen here, is going to keep it himself as he rolls right, and he's not getting there. That's a nice tackle. Devin Isaac, who we said last week pretty quiet, makes a big tackle here to stop the quarterback about 2 yards shy of the 1st down. It'll bring up 4th and 2.
Well, we talked about in the first half, Phoenix Grant's a good-sized young man, but that did not stop the Longview defender from going in there with gusto and taking the wheels out from under him. And so once again, the reappearance of Connor Clark, the junior punter, and once again we'll see Willie Nelson and Mr. Taylor drop back.
Well, a low snap last time put Majubi in trouble. We'll see if he can get a better snap this time and be able to get rid of it. Yep, gets a better one that came, but he got rid of that punt with the wind behind him. It's going to hit at the 50 and take a Bearcat roll out of bounds at the 38-yard line. So with 3:21 left to play in the 3rd, 49-14 Lobos. They'll go back on offense, and we may get another look at Josh Thomas.
You would think, and finally a punt to Kalen Taylor said, no, I want no part of that one. I'm not going to get in the middle of that. And yes, once again, it's going to be Joshua Thomas returning to the huddle.
All right, well, at the 38-yard line, that's where the Lobos go back on offense. Under center is Thomas. He hadn't played in about 4 or 5 weeks. First pass he's going to throw, caught at the 45-yard line and getting across the 50 down to about the 49-yard line. That's a catch for Hamilton and a pickup of 13 and a 1st down.
And if you're watching and you're saying, well, why is Longview throwing the football? This is a young man who they really intended to seriously look at to be the starting quarterback, and particularly to get him minutes throwing the football. So having not had his services for a month, they want to see what he can do throwing the football a little bit.
All right, 1st down at the 49. And a little trouble. Thomas is going to be dropped for a loss of 3 back to the 48-yard line. On the sack that time is Cody Mitchell, senior defensive end for the Bearcats.
And that's the type of rustiness you expect from a quarterback who hadn't been on the game field in a month. He's just a little off on his timing there. Probably needed to step up and continue to look downfield. Instead, he kind of eased his way out of the pocket and really never gave himself an opportunity to keep the play alive.
All right, so the Lobos with a 2nd down now and 13. Back to pass goes Thomas. A little three-step drop over the head of Wright. A little too high for Wright with a cornerback coming in on him. And it'll be third down.
Yeah, once again, a textbook example of timing. That's the type of thing that you just don't get in practice. You get it in live action, and so want to reiterate the fact that Coach King not trying to run up any scores here. He's trying to get his quarterback some opportunities to get back in sync.
Yeah. And you want all the weapons. As you start moving your way to the postseason, you want all of them available. So third down. And on the run, Thomas with a quick pass caught over there by Wright. Again, he caught a touchdown earlier on that same kind of play. He'll step out of bounds at about the 33-yard line, and that's a first down for the Lobos as we're down to under 2 minutes left here in the third quarter.
And that's the athleticism and arm we expected to see from Thomas early. He's not a just stand in the pocket type guy. That time they waggle him out to the left. He makes that baseball type throw as he's rolling out and look good doing so. That's what they're trying to get out of him here tonight.
Hamilton will split out far side of the field. First down and 10 to the ground. No, they're going to keep it. Thomas, now he's going to run. 25, 20, 15, 10, lets up, looks back, and gets in and scores untouched from 32 yards away. And the Lobos get another score to make it 55-14 with 1:23 left to play in the quarter.
And that's really the perfect drive if you're John King, that you want your quarterback who you haven't had the opportunity to get in game action in a while out there. He did some things with his feet. He did some things as far as timing, throwing the ball, and really impressive and promising if you're watching the Lobos tonight.
They had a couple of nice passes, a nice little run, point after up and good, 56-14, 1:23 to play in the third. Back here in 30 on game day.
It's a new season. And at Sport Clips, all of our stylists are clean certified and guy smart. So come in and get yourself back in the game with our legendary MVP experience. It's a mancation with our hot steam towel, relaxing shampoo, and a winning cut. Check in online and walk out with confidence. Sport Clips, it's good to be a guy.
5 plays, 62 yards, a minute 4 to do it. As the Lobos get another touchdown on the ground, this time Josh Thomas getting in. And the lead extended out now to 42. If we were in Arkansas, you'd be running the clock continually already.
Well, we're not, and Bryant's not in town, so we're going to play this one out. It really is the little things. You talk about moving towards playoffs, having all your weapons available. I don't know if you picked up on the fact that after the score, it was Joshua Thomas who stayed out there as the holder. Typically, that's Isaiah Harris.
Yeah.
But you don't want to have a playoff game and not have a guy ready to hold the extra point, have some injury mess up a field goal or extra point opportunity.
All right, here comes the kick from Fields, another guy who's going to be a little tired tonight when this is all over. And another fair catch. He'll take it out to the 25-yard line. That's just become the standard right now for the Bearcats.
Yeah, we may see actually someone else if there's another opportunity to kick tonight. Someone other than Fields get that opportunity.
Yeah, and the Lobos have used another kicker before. We've seen Jacob Vasquez out there. And in fact, last week when they played Highland Park, they had the 2 kickers lining up for the onside kick, one lefty, one righty, to give it a try.
And if you think they put it on cruise control, John King asked Fields to come to him immediately after the kickoff and had a long conversation with him, still coaching him up.
Darn right. 1:23 to play in the third. Phoenix Grant gets to go back out there and try again. On first down, back to the ground they go. And right now the Lobos are just swarming. They get the Bearcats aren't going to want to throw the ball much, and it's given them an opportunity to pin their ears back. Collins Murithi is the tailback on that one. First time we've seen him for no gain.
Yeah, I kind of expect we'll get one more play here in the third quarter as they continue to let the clock run. All night long, Sherman has come to the line. Sometimes they'll fake a little snap to try to get the defense to pay attention, but mostly they call the play and just go to the line and execute.
Second down and 10 at the 25-yard line. Chapman moving couple of different times. Now we'll hand it off. Murithi trying to come to the right. Not happening as he gets jumped on in the backfield. Another big play that time from Zarius Shepard. I mentioned him earlier. He had the blocked punt a while ago. He had 3 sacks over the last couple of weeks, a forced fumble 2 weeks ago, and is starting to become a bigger and bigger presence out there for this defense with just another body to run in.
Sherman's going to allow it to go to the quarter. They're in no hurry to execute another play, so they're going to have 3rd and long, and we'll flip ends of the field here at the end of the 3rd quarter.
All right, well, the Lobos went into the halftime locker room with a 35-14 lead. They leave the 3rd quarter with a 56-14 lead, 21-0 in the quarter. We'll take a break. We're coming back for the 4th quarter here on Longview Game Day.
Over the last 10 years, our office has achieved many record verdicts and settlements. Our commitment has always been to outwork and outfight any opponent we have in whatever courtroom we find ourselves in.
At Godarzi & Young, we have settlements and verdicts that are unmatched. Whether you come face to face with the corporation or the insurance company, they know that if they don't justly compensate our clients, they're going to have to face the Godarzi & Young trial team in the courtroom.
Howdy, East Texas. Neil McCoy here for Patterson Nissan in Longview, home of the free lifetime warranty. Shopping for a pre-owned vehicle has never been easier. Just head over to PattersonCars.com and you'll find over 1,400 quality pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, many certified pre-owned and backed by the Patterson Lifetime Warranty. And you can buy with confidence because each one has to pass a 167-point inspection before it's listed for sale. Log on and find your new-to-you pre-owned car, truck, or SUV at PattersonCars.com.
All right, we'll start quarter number 4. 3rd down and 3 for Sherman.
About 13.
Oh, 13, excuse me. 3rd and 13. Pass caught at the 35-yard line and spinning out of one tackle and getting, piled down by Simmons. What a great form tackle by Simmons. It's Aries Jones with his first catch of the day out to the, let's see where they're marking, 43-yard line.
Yeah, big gain that time. As you mentioned right before the snap, 13 yards to go, and Aries Jones flashed across the middle. There's been some times tonight that Phoenix Grants looked pretty impressive.
So 1st down on the 3rd and long. They get it out to the 43-yard line. They picked up 18 on needing 13. Grant with 3 receivers split out right. Handoff up the middle. Big hit by Caden Brooks that time. No gain on the play. Murithi gets stood up for nothing. It's going to be 2nd down and 10.
You used the term form tackle a while ago. Once again, just a great job of a defender squaring up and wrapping up, and no gain on that play.
How about Caden's week last week? 5 tackles, 1 sack, 1 pick 6. He momentarily had the lead in sacks with 4.5 before Rugeley got another one earlier this evening. 35 tackles for Caden coming into this one tonight. He has really started to come on the last couple of weeks, and we can say that about all 4 of the linebackers. Early on, it was Boone. He got hurt. We saw Devin Isaac for a while. We've seen Rugeley start to become the playmaker, and here they are just blowing up another play. As first one over there was Drake Mayfield to disrupt that thing. They get a yard maybe out of it. It's 3rd down and 9 on Chapman's with the short gain.
Just great pursuit that time. Your corners did what they were supposed to, turn that thing in, wait for the help from the inside, and it came quickly and not much of a gain. It's 3rd and 9 now.
Yeah. This has been a now flying around at the ball defense, which they have been almost all year long. Again, they looked a little shaky to start the game, but have settled in as this game has gone on, and they're really confident right now. Murithi out of the backfield. Grant by himself. He's got pressure. He's dropped all the way back to the 30-yard line. Another big play. How about, is it Rugeley again with another sack? He's extending out that lead. So it'll be 4th down and long on Rugeley's sack. They'll mark it down at the 34-yard line. That's the forward progress.
You've been doing so good. You're on that roll, and then you got all excited with the big defensive sack, and PA guy got it right.
He had time to think about it. I was having to do it on the fly right there.
Well, thank you, Jeff Goldblum. Here we go.
Oh, that one got hung up by the wind. Ooh, that punt did not do much as it rolls over inside the 40. Takes a little Sherman bounce down to the 39-yard line. tell you what, the first down for them was the 47. They only outkicked that by 8 yards. And it'll be a Longview ball with 9:01 left to play.
And that will be the last dig I give you tonight, because I remember years ago I was giving you a dig and you made me do play-by-play.
Yeah, we can have that if you want.
No, we will not be having that tonight.
Okay.
Want to remind you the golf tournament for the basketball team's coming up Saturday, October 30th. We're going to talk about it some more after the play.
All right, first down at the 39-yard line. And how about a first down carry right up the middle, still going to cross the 48, almost the 49-yard line. That'll be enough for first down yardage.
And it's our favorite time of the game when John King brings his quarterback Andrew Tutt over.
Yeah.
And it's King Tut time. And so we always enjoy when we get the opportunity to inject that into the broadcast. Looks like we're injecting Israel Sanchez into the ball game right now.
And let's give the carry credit that time to Kendravian McFarland. All right, so first down Lobos.
Wow.
Somebody jumped a little bit early. That'll be your backup tight end that's in there.
Well, we're getting some fresh bodies in there, and I want to think he almost stumbled there coming out of the three-point stance. But if you're John King, you got to be happy. You've cleaned up a lot of mistakes, and you're going to have one of those when you're putting new bodies in and out of the game late like this.
All right. So we'll go back 5 yards and make it first and 15. Lobos with the large lead, and now we got a flag down. Coach King's about to lose his mind right now.
Okay. He was patient for a moment.
Yeah.
But now we're week 7. We need to execute a little better than that, even with a group of non-starters in there.
Nathan McGee, they called the last time Israel Sanchez 69. I think it was 89, and they got him that time. And that's 2 of them, and now Coach King
I thought Sanchez was responsible the first time, but either way.
They may have both moved then.
Either way, they've given themselves a little to gain here. It's first and 20. Tuttle go back out there. He continues to have McFarland at the fullback position. Jarrett Lewis is in there at the I-back spot.
All right, so a couple of false starts make it first and 20 back at the 39-yard line. They go back to the ground. And Lewis will go across the 45 to the 47-yard line. Boy, a couple of blocks way down the field. Sanchez in particular. And we got a Longview Lobo.
Unfortunately, one of them's going to come up hurting a little bit. That's 52. I don't have him on my roster. You got a 52 on your Longview roster?
Yeah, that's we talked about it earlier. It's Angel Ramos.
Yeah, he's I don't know if he turned the ankle there or whatever. The trainers are out there to look at him. He was joined downfield. Ashton Polk had checked in. And they were trying to double-team the safety way downfield. While we're attending to the play, I want to remind everybody the first annual Lobo basketball golf tourney fundraiser, Saturday, October 30th, 1 p.m. shotgun start. Sign in at 12 o'clock. It's over at Wood Hollow Golf Course here in Longview. If you want to play in that, it's $100 per player, limited to 24 teams. Make your checks payable to Longview Boys Basketball. Be sure, and you can either contact, let's see here, Andy Van Berklio, 903-238-3512, Rex Scoggin, 903-452-9385, or Mark Watson, 903-241-8789, or I bet if you just called the basketball office, somebody get you information, get you in that tournament that honors Leon Romines, the longtime Longview basketball coach.
All right, some guys out there for the Lobos. 83 is Juan Chavez, a senior wide receiver. 81, Josh Harrison. They're both in the game. Braden Rivas is out there at right tackle. Of course, we talked about Andrew Tutt's quarterback. They'll go fullback dive. That is going to be very close to a first down. In fact, way past the first down.
McFarland is still rolling there.
Yeah, as Kentravian McFarland carries it all the way down to the 36-yard line of Sherman as we come up on 7.5 left to play.
Yeah, I think he ran behind Martin Guerrero that time. Guerrero playing that left tackle spot opened up a nice hole that time, and McFarland was still rolling. So after digging a little bit of a hole with a first and 20, Lobos come roaring out of it. Clock continues to run. About 7 minutes left in this one.
That's 301 yards on the ground for Longview on 27 carries. Not great at math, but that's more than 10 a carry. Handoff up the middle. They'll bring that down just a little bit as they go forward to about the 34-yard line. Gain of 2. 2nd and 8 coming up.
If only there was someone at your house who could help you with your math deficiencies.
If only. If only.
By the way, if you need tutoring, call Miss Zach.
That's right.
I can't believe you're married to a math tutor.
I can't believe it
myself. Struggle with numbers.
I didn't struggle. I'm just telling you. I know it's not. It's more than 10. That was Demarius Hunter, by the way, on the carry that time for Longview. So 2nd down and 8 at the 34. They'll go back to the fullback, McFarland, who gets hit immediately but falls forward for a little bit. First one there is Sam Thornton, the defensive lineman for the Bearcats. So it's 3rd down and about 7 coming up.
Yeah, I don't know if you called his name. Christopher Clodfelter's in there at the left guard position right now, the senior offensive lineman. 6'3", 270, big young man.
Who was injured at the beginning of the year. Well, we didn't get a chance to see him probably as a starter. 3rd down. How about Tutt with a first down to the 21-yard line. They'll keep the chains and the clock rolling.
A little sleight of hand that time by Andrew Tutt as he faked the handoff to McFarland. McFarland's going to check out. Jose Soto, junior running back, is going to check in. Probably going to take over that fullback spot.
A lot of bodies coming in and out fast. We'll try to keep up as quickly as we can for you and who's in and no longer who's out. 1st down, Lobos. Clock is rolling again at 5:30 and counting. Man in motion is Harrison, and we got a flag down again. What would have been a very clean game with reserves in there, not seeing as much time. We'll have a delay penalty, and that one's going to be a delay on Sherman.
Well, they called false signals. Someone's calling some false signals there. By the way, looks like Connor Burns, the sophomore offensive lineman, is also checked in. The 6-footer, 260-pound sophomore. Get some action tonight. Tutt returns to the huddle after a conversation with Coach King.
All right, well, 1st down and 5. That makes life a lot easier for any play caller. Anything you want to do, which probably means we're going to run the ball up the middle. Oh, a big hit and an up end at the 13-yard line. That's a big hit that Demarius Hunter just took. And
Isaiah Taylor.
Oh, actually, that's Taylor instead. That's Isaiah Taylor. They brought in 19 instead of 29 on that carry. And you watch on the replay, he gets hit and just upended right on that head as he got double hit. The combination of John O'Carey and catch the other number. I think that may have been Joseph Gianfrido with the tackle.
Football, and all of a sudden a tumbling class broke out.
Yeah. All right, so 2nd down. They'll go back to Taylor again. Is looking for a little room. He wiggles his way out of one tackle and gets down to about the 7-yard line, where it's going to be a 1st down and goal for the Lobos.
Salem does a good job of working his way through now, and they're going to drop the sticks on the far side as it's going to be 1st and goal.
Longview's had the fortune of being able to use a bunch of bodies here. A lot of guys getting a chance to get on the field, and you love that happening.
Yes, and nobody running up a score here, all backups in there, all simplistic running game.
So 1st down and goal at the 7-yard line. On the handoff, another one to Taylor, and he'll struggle his way to the 6. It'll be 2nd down and goal.
And Sherman's got a lot of bodies in there as well. This isn't the first-team defense. Both sides have emptied the benches here late in this one. Looked like it's going to be a very competitive game in the first quarter. Longview comes out and scores on the opening drive, and it was 14-all, and from there it's been all Longview.
Yeah. So 2nd down and goal. Clock is coming up on 3.5 minutes left in this. Again, the Lobos will be off next week. They'll go into the bye with a 6-2 record. They'll go in with a 2-1 record in district play. And they'll get the push for the last 2 weeks. Another handoff to Taylor as he's dropped at the 2-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and goal.
Yeah, Hudson Lloyd, senior tight end in there. Looks like Nathan McGee, another tight end in there. Seeing some action here late in this one. All of them trying to blow open some holes for Taylor as he gets his moment.
3rd down coming up. You see the clock rolling under 3 minutes left now.
Tutt gets instructions. I'm going to take a guess it's a running play.
You would think. Sherman next week goes home to take on McKinney North. And again, McKinney North is still in the conversation about that 4th spot. Handoff to Taylor, And he's spinning but can't quite get there. It'll be 4th down and goal.
Interesting to see if Coach Sheen just takes a knee here, or I can't imagine him bringing the field goal kicker out.
No.
He'll probably let his quarterback maybe just run this thing, or continue just a straight handoff.
Yeah, it's just been dives up the middle.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like I'm using
nobody's trying to
play
run up
action
score
or
here.
reverses or even throwing the football. So they'll go tight fullback behind the quarterback. He's going to get the football. Nope, Tut's going to keep it himself, and he reached out at the end. I don't think he got the ball across. We'll see. Nope, fell a little bit short. It'll be Sherman ball at the 1-yard line. We'll get it on the replay here as he reached for it at the very end, and that ball got popped out of there, but it didn't matter. He was short of the goal line, and that's where Sherman will take over with 2 minutes and 1 second left to play.
You see Isaiah Taylor's expression, disappointed they didn't score. When that second team gets in there, it's a pride issue. You want to score when you get your time on the field. Some defensive substitutions as well. Looks like we're going to start with Pulte's back in there. He's
Ethan Pulte, yeah.
Yeah, has Pulte been hurt some?
He's been in and out hurt, yeah. Let's see who else we've got in there. I think at one corner, Tony Moss. Senior is playing on this near side, getting a chance to get in the game.
Got Leonard Elps, big number 61, one of the defensive tackles.
A little surprised he's still out there. He's one of the starters.
Caleb Woolridge is out there.
And in the secondary, Generic Bivens is playing at safety. Get a chance to see him. It looks like maybe at one of the other corners. I didn't see who went out there. Maybe Moon over there. All right, 1st down, ball in the end zone where quarterback Grant's going to get it. He'll hand off, sweeping right and getting out to about the 5.5-yard line is fullback for Sherman. And I don't have
That's Logan Williams, the senior running back / linebacker, getting his first touch of the night.
Okay, well, he'll get it out to the 5-yard line, so it's 2nd down and 6.
Clock now down to about 1:30. Nice win for the Lobos tonight.
Yeah, very nice. With all that going on last week and some doubts about, oh boy, big hit that time at the 5. Yeah, Mr. Williams liked the first carry, not so much the second one.
Yeah, Jeremy Bragg came up that time. Bragg's with the big hit, junior DB.
Yeah, Bragg's got the credit, but Caleb Woolridge got there and kind of blew that thing up. 97. So it's 3rd down at the 5-yard line.
Shepard's coming off the field. Don't want to get him banged up here late. Under a minute.
All right, Lobos again going to go to 6-2. It'll be a 3-4 record for Sherman. The important parts are district records. It'll be a 1-2 record for the Bearcats, and the Lobos about to go to 2-1 in district play. Here's another handoff to Williams. He's going to get dumped at the 8-yard line, and they should be not having to run anymore. That'll be the end of it.
Don't figure they want to punt and no need to run another play. Looks like Coach Kane's calling his lads over, and they're going to talk about it, get lined up, shake hands.
Yeah, and that'll do all of it. So they'll run off the last 19 seconds as the Lobos get a very convincing 56-14 win. And again, take it with what it's worth. They gave up a score on the first drive that Sherman had the football, kind of knocked them back for a second. They answered with a score of their own, got another one. Sherman came back and tied it at 14, and then from that point on, an onslaught of Lobos. There's the ever-famous Howling Wolf, 42 points in a row put up at the end of this to make it a 56-14 final score. And everything you wanted if you're John King. I think we walked out with everybody healthy. You got Taylor Tatum getting an impressive evening carrying the football, and on not very many carries. Taylor had 13 carries, 190 yards, and 3 scores, and your offense grabs up 331 yards running the football, 192 throwing the football. You got Josh Thomas back in the game for a few looks. What else do you want if you're John King?
I don't know, but if you're McKinney North, Tyler High School, you got a lot to think about over the next few weeks. Is this Longview Ball Club's got a bye week to go into. and then they've got 2 weeks to finish out district, and they're going to go into the bye week feeling really good.
Yeah. Let's give you the scoring recap real fast. First quarter, Elijah Chapman, 59-yard reception to make it a 7-0 lead for the Bearcats. Taylor Tatum from 2 yards away ties it up. He gets a second touchdown of 18 yards to end the first quarter, 14-7 lead for Longview. Phoenix Grant scores the last time the Bearcats will cross the goal line, the first score of the second quarter, and after that, it's all she wrote. We'll get a Taylor Tatum 21-yard touchdown, his third of the first half to make it 21-14. Isaiah Harris with his first touchdown from 3 yards away, 28-14. Jalen Hale gets a 17-yard touchdown reception from Jordan Allen, 35-14. We said before, it is Hale's 23rd career touchdown reception. He is now tied at the #1 spot for Camden Perry as a career touchdown reception man for Longview. The half, it was 35-14. Third quarter, all Lobos. DeKalen Taylor, 41-yard touchdown reception from Allen to make it 42-14. Isaiah Harris from 10 yards away for 49-14. And then Josh Thomas with a 33-yard touchdown run, 55, make it 56-14. That's the final score. The Lobos obliterate, and that's the best way to put it, obliterate the Bearcats tonight. And the big numbers are the final numbers. Hang on a second, let me do this real quick because I can send myself this. The numbers offensively, 331 yards on the ground on 36 carries for Longview, 192 through the air. Quick math, 523 in total offense. Sherman with 60 yards on the ground and 31 carries, 163 through the air. That's 193 total yards of offense. Caleb Thompson, 13 carries, 37 yards. He was the leading ground gainer for the Bearcats. Again, Tatum with 190, and then you got Thomas with 30, McFarland with 30, Lewis with 26, Taylor with 16. We go on and on and on. Phoenix Grant, 11 of 18, 163 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Jordan Allen, 7 of 9, 160 and 2 scores. Josh Thomas came in and went 2 for 3 for 32 yards. DeKalen Taylor had 2 catches for 61. Jalen Hale, 2 for 58. Dartavian Wright, 2 for 35. Marion Hamilton, 2 for 31. Isaiah Harris had 1 for 7. Elijah Chapman, 4 catches, 112 yards, and a touchdown for the Bearcats.
Pretty cool moment. Connor Clark, the junior defensive back for Sherman, went over to spend a couple of minutes with Jalen Hale. He knew he'd competed all night against a very special player, and so he wanted to go over there and I'm sure show his respect to a guy who's going to be playing on Saturdays not too far in the future.
All right, well, they've cut the cameras. We've been watching some replay stuff, and we're going to get you the heck out of here. Remind you, no game next week. Lobos are off on their bye week next week. We'll be back in 2 weeks, Thursday night in 2 weeks on October the 28th in McKinney for the last road game of the regular season before we come back here on November the 5th for the final regular season home game against Tyler. For Tony Kirk, for Morgan Smith and the gang down in the field, I'm Chuck Zach. Thank you so much for tuning in. You've been watching a presentation of Longview